Welcome to the Rugs to Riches show. Grab a drink and get comfortable. The live show is about to start.
What is going on, Elephant Money Herd? AG Crypto in the house with Zac Minter. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? I'm doing pretty well myself. How you doing this Monday evening?
I'm doing all right. I got a new mic. How's it sound? Do I sound all right?
Sound pretty good, man. Sounds pretty good. I see you got the headphones too. You've had those for a while, though, haven't you?
Yeah, same headphones. I could downgrade and get like little small ones, but I don't know. I feel
No,
like
yeah,
this
they
is
look
my
good.
style now.
They look good. I see you're in your studio with your telescope and your globe and your all your cool bookshelf in the back there.
I am. I got a little sneaky.
Hey,
person.
what's going on, little man?
All right, go get in bed.
What's the name of it? I want to watch it.
No, it's bedtime. Get out of here.
Put the name in. I want to watch a live stream. Watch it.
He's like, Dad, you're taking all the bandwidth streaming. I'm trying to watch a live stream.
Doesn't work. Ask Mom to do it. She knows how to do it.
No, I don't even.
Ask Logan.
No.
Well, I'm on the air. Go.
Oh gosh.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
We do it for the kids. That's what we're here for, right? Do it for the kids. That's right.
Yeah, I let them stay up, watch the football, and I don't know if you were watching the football game, but I got playing right now, so I can keep track of it.
Nice.
So I bet you guys are wondering where Goldwyn is. He's having problems. I think we had like a 15-minute delay trying to get his audio going. So he's changing out computers, trying to figure out what's going on. So he'll join us eventually, hopefully. But
yeah, who's in the house?
Us too.
Who's in the house this evening, everyone? Tuning in. Let's see. Drop a comment, a like, a sub. Thanks for tuning in. While we just get Goldwyn figured out here. You know, Goldwyn always something up to something. We gotta wrangle him back in. Come back on, brother.
Yeah. All the time.
All the time.
So how was your week, man?
It's been good, man. It's been a busy week. A lot of stuff's happened on the crypto side of the world. But overall, it's been a pretty good week. I'm kicking off the new year with a good start. I think the crypto market's taking a little breather right now as we await the ETF news, which we'll be discussing later on in the episode. But overall, man, I've been having a great week. And I'm looking forward to killing this month, man. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I'm still kicking, still alive. I had a kind of a scare Thursday. I decided to go to the doctor over it. I started peeing blood.
Oh,
that's never good.
Gosh. Woo.
Bet you didn't see that one coming.
Can't say I've ever had that happen to myself, thankfully. Is everything okay though? You got checked all out, all good?
Yeah, they gave me some antibiotics and said that I have prostatitis or something like that. They said 80% of people get it when they're in their 50s. I'm like, well, I'm only 35. They're like, well, you're ahead of the curve.
Oh,
it's just an infection, I guess.
You got an overactive prostate, man. You've been using it too much or something. I don't know.
But yeah, we're taking care of that. And then on top of that, what else is new? Oh yeah, we had a
mic check.
Who is this?
Oh,
hey.
The man, the myth, the legend. He joins us.
God.
Welcome in, man.
Jesus.
Goldwyn.
It's only the third computer I tried today. Good fucking Lord. Can you hear me? Am I loud enough?
Loud and clear.
Fuck my life.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
What was going on, man?
I don't know. That was the computer I've been using this whole time, except last week when I was out of town. But
hey, the three musketeers are back together. So hey, better late than never. That's right.
We're back.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry, my bad. Hello, Nathaniel. What's up?
So we were
Shit.
just recapping. Zach's been peeing blood, so
Yeah, it's not
What?
looking good for me, guys. You guys better take my seed phrases because I don't know how much time I got left right now. Just playing. That's actually that guy over there. That guy's peeing blood, not me.
yeah.
I'm peeing gold. My
Oh,
my pee's looking like my suit, nice and yellow, nice and gold.
I was
Just
all
kidding.
looking.
Gotta hydrate, hydrate, homies. Everyone
That
in the
means you
chat.
need more
Get
water.
That's exactly what it said.
Yeah.
Too much dark liquor, so I've been
Am I
switching up
echoey to you?
right now. Uh-oh, did you freeze?
We're live and well.
Uh-oh. Gold one.
Did I was wondering. I'm gone again.
He'll be back in a minute, but let's
Are you
jump
fucking
into
with
the
me?
news. We enough time riff-raffing. Let's
Son of
jump
a
into the
bitch.
big news this week. Should we start
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, let's start there. Saturday. Was it Saturday night? I think it was Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go and I take a look and I get a Are you frozen again? Oh my gosh.
I just saw the that frozen. Go ahead. Tell me about what happened. Where were you when the number one elephant money holder decided to drop his bag off at the fire station and walk away? Where were you?
Let's see, where was I? I was at home, getting yelled at for not working. We were supposed to be cleaning the house, but I kept, checking my phone because obviously I didn't want to work. And Goldwyn texted me and said, "Hey, number one holder sold." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. What did he sell? A tenth of his bag?" Nope, sold it all. So I don't blame the guy. Actually, he was up. What they say, 50% or 50x or
Yeah,
150x or something like that.
I think 50x, 4,900% return.
Yeah.
And that was what I think was quoted.
50x,
I haven't looked on chain to confirm that. I don't know if Goldwyn has that number. When he unfreezes, he can tell us. But yeah, I think it was a 50x.
Yeah, 50x. I mean, I'm planning on taking profit
50x
and
is what I heard.
50x from here.
I did.
So, I'm not selling my whole bag though.
I did find it very interesting. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to kind of pivot into is as he decided to dump his whole bag, being the number one holder of any project or any endeavor, you would think I don't know what exactly they're thinking, but you would think they may want the project to continue and maybe if this is one of their big winners, see where it goes from there. But hey, like we said, you can't blame the guy. He might have more than one wallet. You never know. And he just decided, I guess it was time to take those funds and put them elsewhere. And, we wish him the best. And if he's going to return to the herd at some point, that's great. But if not, we wish him well. And yeah, it's interesting to see. It's almost like a New Year's gift, as BT put it, to have this individual no longer, who an individual, like we mentioned, if we look at on chain, I believe he didn't DCA too much throughout these past 2 years. It seemed that he primarily had a majority of his position came from the fair launch. That's when he was first purchasing the elephant token. And then I believe he also purchased additional tokens after the exploit. So this is someone who, like I said, has been around, even believed in the project, even post exploit, and just happened to, I guess, at this time decide to maybe try to play the Bitcoin ETF that's coming up. Maybe they, who knows? Maybe they bought a Lamborghini. Maybe the first Lambo was bought. We don't know, but we wish him well, him or her.
Do you think you know who the person is?
I thought about that for a while. I was like, like I'm saying, if you're the number one holder in a project, you're probably in the Telegram. You're probably active in the community. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a name out there. I think it was. No, I'm just kidding. I have no clue. Like I said, I would assume it's someone who's active in the chat, but then again, if they weren't DCAing this whole time, maybe it's just someone who this might not even be that much money to them. Who knows? I believe it was $34,000 was their initial investment.
That's what I was about to say. That's a lot of money for someone that's not actively involved in the project.
Yeah.
I thought I
Well,
heard
do you have any
150.
thoughts
I don't know about it. Do what?
I was saying, Goldwyn, do you have any thoughts on that?
I thought I heard one. Yeah, I thought I heard 150 total.
150
Maybe.
was the total amount
No?
invested.
Well, it wasn't. It's the total amount invested, but I think it was like
That's
$30K
what I heard.
as the initial buy-in.
Hmm.
But that's big money, man. I don't know who's throwing that around and not, being more involved with the community and the project.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we lost him.
Hey, he'll be back. He
Oh,
always does. You can't get rid of him. He'll be back. But no, I like you're saying, especially when the token first launched, if you recall, there was no utility for the elephant token on launch. So to be able to, like we're talking about, invest something like $34,000, I assume they must have been involved in bank tellers' work prior to the launch of the elephant token. So this might be a person who was involved in like bankroll flow or some other of BT's past work and had decided that they wanted to have a position on the launch of Elephant. So yeah, whoever they were, they held the line for many years, and in crypto, that's an eternity to hold a cryptocurrency for 2.5 years. I mean, that's in the 0.1% of like actually holders holding it for that long. I recall one time I was looking at Coinbase, and I was seeing they show you the average hold duration for people who use Coinbase. I'm assuming that's where they're pulling
sure.
the data from. And I was shocked to see I click like Avalanche. You know what? I want you to guess, AG.
Okay.
What do you think a Coinbase, the average hold time for a coin like Avalanche? How long was a Coinbase holder holding that for?
Avalanche. I would say probably 9 months.
It was 14 days. Like, and
14
that,
days?
yes.
That's how long they were holding it for?
Yes, and that shows you majority of
Man.
especially inexperienced investors and people who are attracted to crypto for the wrong reasons. They think they're gonna buy something, and then 14 days later,
You know
that
what?
they'll
I wouldn't go off of that anyways because it's Coinbase, which is an exchange, and anyone that's, doing anything with crypto should have moved their profits off of the exchange.
But
So,
you'd be surprised. I would guess maybe less than 10% of crypto of Coinbase users actually self custody their crypto. This is just a wild guess. I would guess that majority of people who have downloaded the Coinbase app, they do leave their funds on the exchange, which, as we know, is not what crypto is about and is not a wise decision.
mhm,
As if you follow the show for any time, these two gentlemen here to my left can attest to experiences leaving funds on a centralized exchange and how that doesn't turn out the best. So, yeah, I
Golden,
just
can
think
you
it
hear us?
goes back to education, and most people don't really know that they treat it like Robinhood, or they treat like their TD Ameritrade. Oh, you buy it. Oh, I sell it. Oh, I do that kind of thing.
Yeah. They've got too much. Can't hear you. Can't hear you, buddy. Hey, if you can hear us, just try loading it up on your cell phone.
Yeah, that'd be a good wise decision, a wise idea, pivot. But so that was really fascinating to me because, like, I mentioned Avalanche in particular because that's a layer one blockchain. That's something that if you invest in Avalanche, you're seeking, the growth and adoption of the layer one blockchain. But once again, most people think Avalanche and SHIB and Doge and Bitcoin are all similar. They're all cryptocurrencies, but
Mhm.
it takes, a little bit more research to understand that these different cryptos have different utilities and have different time horizons and different use cases, etc. So I think that just comes down to the beginner crypto kind of experience.
Yeah. So this Bitcoin ETF, just a quick question on that before we get further down the road on it. How do you think that's going to affect the elephant token?
Um, in the short term, I think no major effect. I think once it launches, well, let me preface this. I think you and I both share this stance. I believe it will be a sell the news event. I think if anything, this past 2 3 weeks have shown the market sentiment, how everyone was hyping up Bitcoin's price, pumping, and we are going up right now as I speak.
Yeah, I was gonna say
But
Bitcoin last time I looked is like at 40, 48, 47.
and it's sucking all the liquidity out of all the altcoins. So right now, as Bitcoin's hype and preparation for the ETF being announced, I believe it's sucking all that liquidity out of these other altcoins and other anything else outside of Bitcoin. And so I think the day of the news, when it happens, I think Bitcoin will take a dip. So with that being said, I think in the short term, I think crypto might experience maybe a short term maybe dip. So that would mean elephant goes down a little bit just because BNB goes down. Everything's going to go down a little bit.
Mhm.
But I think this is just my guess. When we look, a few months down the road, we'll see, if anything, maybe as we pass April, which is the next halving event, as all these ETFs are approved and a bunch of people are now accessing these spot ETFs. I think we'll see maybe the market rally. And I've actually got an interesting news story today that kind of counters that idea that suggests potentially we might see maybe even a bigger dip because there's other bigger macro things at play as well that we'll discuss, coming up.
Goldwyn, is your
Mic
computer
check.
working?
Mic check. Mic check.
Yes, sir.
It's
We hear
very
you.
quiet. Well, I can hear you. He can't hear us. He's going to use his phone.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, you
Oh, we
can?
can hear you, brother. You're good.
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yes,
Could
we
you
hear
hear-
you.
Could you hear me all the times I was calling you names? Just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
I just was wondering if you guys were like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
The
thinking
rest of
about
the show.
that, but I was like, oh, we're
Yeah.
already 15 minutes late.
man, that's my bad. That's my bad. I'm in the middle of a move. So, like, my whole family is at the other house. So that's why I was a little late anyway. So I got in and I did all of the slides for the
For the money lines?
for money lines, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so that's why the other computer it must be trying to update or something because I don't use that computer. But that's
So
why it was running really, really slow. Now I'm
Gotcha.
on I think my USB port for my mic went bad, but I don't know because I have my headphones attached to my mic and can hear y'all, but you can't hear me through the mic.
I think you packed up your internet and put it at the other house. That might be the issue too.
Yeah,
No, my
maybe.
kids. Let's say my kids are bitching because they're on their hotspot with their Xbox, so they have their Xbox running through their phone right now because I don't have internet at the other house.
Yeah,
I'm at
that's
my
pretty wild that a hotspot can like even take that
Yeah.
much. That's crazy. I
That's
haven't
5G
heard that
action
before.
going on.
Yeah, so I'm all alone in my house. There's nothing here but my office and my desk because I don't have
So
internet at the other house.
Are you leaving and going back to your house after the show?
Via Uber, depending on how many drinks I have.
Nice.
Hey, after what we're talking about tonight, you're gonna Uber definitely. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he'll drive.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
So-
I dropped the ball here a couple times.
That's all right. So I wanted to hear your take on this. My personal belief, I know this isn't what you guys are going to like to hear, but I think we're going to take a big dump. Elephant. I think if we go up, people take money out of elephant, put it into Bitcoin, FOMO in. I think if Bitcoin falls, then the whole market falls. BNB goes down. So I think either way, elephant's going to be taking a little dip for a short term. I could be wrong. What do you guys think?
One thing I'll say real quick, that short-term pain, long-term gain, right?
Mhm.
If we do experience these depressed prices, right, that just means Bertha has that discount window where she can continue to eat up elephant tokens at even a price lower than today's price. So that's kind of the ingenious tokenomics of the elephant money ecosystem, where despite the volatility in the market, the protocol is constantly hardening itself and building itself to be sustainable and live to see another day, so to speak. So even with that, it's if you're a long-term bull for elephant money such as myself, right, I think that I almost welcome lower prices. It makes my bags get bigger because I buy more, but also I know Bertha just futures deposits don't stop, NFT minting doesn't stop, right? It makes people now at a round of 2 BNB, the price of the current unlimited NFT minting, right? It makes those more affordable for people who may have been priced out of that market. So all of that being said is, yeah, I like that kind of scenario you put out, and I could see that very much happening.
What do you think, Golden?
I personally don't think that elephant's going to drop too much more. I mean, I think if there were still scared people in elephant, they would have sold when the number one holder sold. So I think that we've really gotten really close to the true diamond hands of the ecosystem, and I think all the weekends have been shaken out of elephant. So where I don't disagree that maybe the market does drop a little bit after the CCF comes out, the buy the rumor, sell the new kind of thing. I don't. I mean, obviously it'll go down if BNB goes down, right? We're eventually going to be now. But I don't think per se. I don't think there'll be a lot of selling on the elephant side.
And that brings up a good point. You mentioned we've hit the diamond hands point. I don't know if you guys remember, I made a little short one time. I bought some I found do you ever seen that Arthur meme, the Hey Arthur, where he has the diamond fist? Like
Yeah.
that whole, so I took a screenshot of I found the original image for the diamond, for that diamond screen. And I found like a fabric online store, and I bought all this diamond fabric. I'll go get it in a second. But I cut out, so I made gloves so I could have diamond hands. I don't know how to sew. I was watching YouTube tutorials, how to make gloves and stuff. I was like, I can't do all this crap. So I ended up I put my hand and I drew around it and cut it out with scissors. And then I used Elmer's glue to glue them together. It does not look good. So anyway, but what I was mentioning, the diamond hands, that is a good point. I think we'd even speculated, what is that diamond hand value for the herd? Do you recall it? Were we saying 150 trillion or so? I think that's what we were roughly estimating. And that's kind of what it seems to be. I think we're at 178, 170s. So yeah, it's great to see. As we know, the more educated the individuals are in the herd, they understand the tokenomics, they understand the system. It allows for that, like we were talking about, that bottom, that base to be established. So I agree with that 8 trillion sell. There wasn't many other large sells. All the other large wells, a lot of them bought, actually, if you follow up the transactions that day, right? One man's selling opportunity is one man's buying opportunity. So I think we're definitely at the bottom in terms of, or we're at the diamond hands point, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, herd has 167,000.
167 trillion.
167 trillion. Yeah.
Wow, that's lower than I think the last I saw was 178. Wow, that's incredible. Well, I guess the 8 trillion was one person too. So
Bertha got 10% of that 8 trillion.
Well, no, because he sold on PCS, so Bertha got whatever her cut was, 20%.
And I thought that. I thought that was also fascinating. Like he's mentioning, right? The individual didn't sell on site, so the largest line share of that taxes did not go to Bertha like it would have if it went straight through the website. Instead, it went through its typical kind of reflections pattern. So
I got some reflections from it.
Yeah. And that goes back to, I'm like, how are you the number one holder and don't understand that you get a discount? They would have had more money because
it's for the people.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're for the people, they won't dump the whole bag. It was maybe they found their wallet. They're like, holy crap, I put 30 grand in this thing 2 years ago and it's 2 million right now. That may have what happened.
I really think that's what it was. I think that, I think they only had 2 buys, right? Liquidity, and then right after the
exploit.
So maybe they were interested. Yeah, maybe they were interested in up until the exploit, and then they bought some more, and then they really dropped off the map. And they came back and they're like, "Holy shit, we did make a comeback."
Could you imagine? What the hell?
I've lived it one time. I think I told you a story a few weeks ago, but for Veracity VRA, same thing. I had stake it and forget it. I was trying to make a rhyme, can't do it. Stake it and forget it. But and I came back and it was 6 figures, and I market dumped the majority of that 6 figures. And so I can say I've lived that experience, and it's a good day. Let me tell you, when you find some change in the oh look, I found let's see. Oh look, I found $2, right? But find $2 million in your crypto wallet. Woo! It's a good day.
I found some ETH on Coinbase Pro. So I used Coinbase Pro
Oh, did you?
when I first started, and then I just forgot about it. And then I started trading again on Coinbase Pro, and I went in and had like half an ETH or something. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's cool. That's part of my issue having lots of wallets, right? If you're not if you don't have enough correct documentation and you have strange things where it doesn't show up on DBank or other coin tracking websites, right? That you'll be able, there's tons of wallets that have tokens and projects that have liquidity that, just are kind of out there on the blockchain, not being, used or watched. Yeah.
So you got your slides open?
No, but
I'll
I
load
did make
those
one.
up.
So let me.
We can
keep
go through the
talking.
news if you'd like. I have those
Yeah,
open.
Yeah, I can
You got to load that up to
Yeah.
the screen too.
Yeah, I'll load it up. You guys go ahead and start with you.
And this week, let me know if you really can see it. I'm sharing now.
Oh, I can see it now. I can see it now. All right, guys, let's get into it.
And now it's time for the latest news with Zac Minter on the Rugs to Riches show.
Boom! It's go time. So this week, we've got an exciting week full of news coming up with the Bitcoin ETF just around the corner. We've got a lot of people, basically the same thing they do in Telegram. They're swiping their phones, they're refreshing, CoinDesk or the block, and they're just waiting to ape in once the news is or short sell. We'll see too. But anyway, just to get started this week, I've got this quick story about what may or may not happen if this Bitcoin ETF is approved. So as we know, the SEC is on the brink of approving the first spot Bitcoin ETF in the US after 10 years of failed applications. There are some experts who are on both sides of the aisle. Bitcoin's going to go to the moon as we have all these new inflows of fresh capital, while others are saying, hey, the demand's not really there. This is going to be a sell the news type of event, right? It's kind of overstated the amount of fresh capital that will be entering the Bitcoin ecosystem. So right here, we've mentioned, like I said, some analysts say the influx of investments are overdone. And as it stands today, right, the SEC has rejected every applicant, and that's about to change as there's continuous rumors that BlackRock, Fidelity, I mean, the list goes on, of all these traditional financial managers are now going to get the green light to start making their fees off selling this spot Bitcoin ETF. Right now, like I said, experts say this, experts say that. Half will be correct, half will be dead wrong, as they always are. But no matter what will happen in the short term, I think it's a safe bet to understand that trillions in value over the long term are on their way into this ecosystem through the ETF. And what's interesting that stood out to me in this little article as well, right here, some analysts even predict a supply shock after exchange balances fell to a 5-year low in October. So similar concepts we discuss a lot in Elephant Money, the supply shock of the elephant token, right? It all happens based off that, the fewer elephant tokens that exist in the liquidity pool, right? The same thing's happening for Bitcoin, except for on exchanges. The fewer Bitcoin that are on exchanges actually set up as a limit order, actually set up in a way that they may or may not be sold on the market. The more that are self-custodied and taken off the market, that increases the likelihood of a supply shock. So
here's the deal that I have with that supply shock theory. There's majority of all those sales are going to come OTC, over the counter, and we're not going to see the influx of capital. That's my prediction. Because here's why I say that. Michael Saylor, he's deposited or bought up billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin.
I wish soon, one day.
And the price hasn't really done anything, And it's because he's buying it over the counter. Because if he bought it off exchanges, the
Mhm.
price would jump up crazy fast. So I read an article yesterday that was saying that BlackRock had $2 billion waiting on the sidelines to be buying up Bitcoin. But they're going to use it for, more than likely, they're going to go over the counter and not go through like a Coinbase exchange or something. And I started thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. Well, that's what Michael Saylor does. That's what Tesla did. Price didn't go up until people found out about it. Then people buy it up. The retail investor.
Mhm.
Then everyone dumps. Then you have the pullback. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Honestly, how many of those big companies are going to be buying them off exchanges?
I think it's the idea if the fresh capital, if the inflow, it will be spot Bitcoin purchases. So I think that like I said, I don't know exactly what will happen at the day of the announcement, but the theory is if there is high demand, there is tons of fresh capital, they'll have to continue to self-custody more and more Bitcoin if the demand is there. So I think that's
I think it will be. So eventually they'll drive the price up.
yeah.
But
And so they just, this article goes through and kind of compares other non spot ETFs for Bitcoin. So, for example, ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, which is a Bitcoin futures ETF, so not a spot one, meaning they don't hold the underlying Bitcoin as collateral. It's just a futures market, right? It had over $1.5 billion in inflation adjusted terms after 30 days after its introduction. So, it uses an example, it uses another one with $1.6 billion of inflow. So it all will depend what this kind of inflow will be. Right now, it's mentioning, right, since October, Bitcoin's up 61%. And that's largely based off this, by the rumor, like we're talking about, right? Prices go up when the rumors start spreading. And then once the event occurs, there's no longer hype or there's no narrative. There's no, it's what's the next thing. So that's typically why the sell it's counterintuitive. You would think, oh, it's here now. It's going to go. It just dropped 20%. What? So that's, and the sharks are waiting there for you. So be careful.
I've got a lot of buy orders that are below 40s right now.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go lower. I don't know. As soon as we get Goldwyn's maps up.
Yeah, we'll see what
Money
he has.
sounds like he's playing Candy Crush over there.
Make your PowerPoint.
And this kind of speaks to right here. So, right, the spot ETF involves actual Bitcoin, so it removes it from the market. But like you were just mentioning, if it's OTC, then maybe they already have a ton that they've amassed that it won't be freshly removed from the market. But what's, like, no matter what happens in the short term, this huge event means that conservative pension funds and insurance funds will gain a way to add exposure to native Bitcoin, as opposed to, derivatives like just buying the Coinbase stock coin or buying like something like MicroStrategy's stock as well. Just for another kind of comparison, right here, there's 35 gold ETFs in the US with $118 billion under management. So right here it says, given Bitcoin's roughly 3.6 times higher volatility compared to gold, investors would need approximately 3.6 times less Bitcoin than dollar-denominated gold, blah, 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 to each reach level similar of exposure. So, yeah, we'll see what happens once the news hits the fan. And it'll be interesting too, because like we're talking about, there's rumors drive speculation, right? And rumors drive everything. So we keep talking about this pending approval, but there is that chance of not being approved as well. So that's
the rumor is the 10th, right? That's the deadline. That's Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah. So
I think it's coming tomorrow. I think
coming
it's
tomorrow, Tuesday.
I think it's going to be dropped at I would say 4, but I'm going to say more like 3. I think 3 a.m. or 3 p.m.
They close right at 4 or 5, right? I believe it's 4 p.m., 4:30, something like that.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see.
I say 3. I say 3 tomorrow.
3 tomorrow. All right. We got to open up some market right there, a betting market. There is that. Do you guys recall off the top of your head? There's that like political betting website. It has nothing to do with crypto, but it's like some sort of market where you can bet on like events like that, like candidates, elections, stuff like that. I forgot the name.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's called.
I wonder if they have one for the date of approval.
I'm sure Vegas odds always have something. People are betting on everything.
Yeah. Kind of moving forward to the next story. This is something I had mentioned previous in this podcast, is that crypto legend Arthur Hayes foresees a 30% Bitcoin crash amid vicious washout. Here's why. So he's in this article, he goes on to explain that the depletion of the Federal Reserve's repo program is slowly returning to its historical level. It's decreasing, and he's assuming that same type of thing. Once that occurs, the market is now waiting. Hey, where's this new liquidity injection going to come from? So he's projecting a whole, for the U.S. stock market and other, I guess, U.S. financial markets. He's projecting a pullback, and thus a reaction with the Bitcoin market also a pullback. So he's claiming, he predicts a 20 to 30% pullback, and that would wash out all the tourists who come here. And
when's he predicting that? This month? It says he predicting that this month, next week?
Within the short term, yes. So right here it's saying, let's see, warn about potential 23 in the next few months. Because it's I'll show you here in a moment. Right's happening. It's gonna let's go down a little bit right here. So right here, the repo program, the RRP, it's quickly declining, dropping to $700 billion from a record high of 2.5 trillion at the end of 2022.
I guess I'm confused. What is the repo program?
So that's a whole nother can of worms, but that's essentially this kind of emergency fund that the government is using to prop up markets, like a emergency cash fund. And
like in 2008 when they bought all the houses.
Yeah, I think that's a fair analogy. And so it's quickly declining back to its historical levels of 200 billion, and he's predicting around March that it will hit that level. And right here, Hayes expects the facility won't be extended during the U.S. presidential election year, which could bankrupt some banks who sit on massive unrealized losses on their bond holdings. So this is a whole can of worms about TradFi and bond and interest rates. And
I just thought of something. You know how the COVID pandemic started? And the government came in and bought all kinds of stocks and bonds and ETFs to try to boost the economy, boost the markets. Now that Bitcoin's going to be an ETF, if something like that happens again, and the U.S. government says, "Oh, we're going to put $2 trillion into the markets to try to, keep them afloat." Oh my gosh! Could you imagine if they were buying Bitcoin ETFs? Just a fraction of $2 trillion. What is that? A tenth of
ETFs, they have to actually hold it, right? Are they regulated to prove they have it?
Yeah, they were buying up big companies, their stock. They're buying the S&P 500. They're buying total bond market.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point. I never thought of it, actually. I wonder, that's what they mentioned. If 50 million Americans now hold Bitcoin through a approved ETF, that might be a cause for them to get involved. So that's a good question. The U.S. government already is one of the largest Bitcoin holders in the world, just from the amount of they've seized from different criminals and other.
Well, they made it, so they might as well take it back.
So that's just Arthur's kind of, big take. So he's expecting, a pullback and maybe a rebound.
Zac, what was that frowny face for?
Which one?
Which one? The one where I said the government might have made Bitcoin. You were like,
Oh, may have made Bitcoin?
Yeah, I said it's theirs. They can take it back if they want it.
Oh, well, I mean, have you read that article before? The CIA has supposedly gone and spoken with, I mean, do they go talk to themselves? But they've gone and spoken with the founders of Bitcoin. You can look it up. And they said that they're all good, that they gave them the thumbs up, like they're okay. They're not they're not like a national threat or something
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I
A
could
lot of people
I do
think it's
I
just
could believe
someday.
that they are potentially the creator.
Is the Satoshi wallet one of our talking points? Did it make yours?
It's not, but I can definitely pull up that news article as
Well,
well, 'cause
yeah,
that was huge news this week.
that's. I think that's fake news.
Well,
It's bi-
it is. I mean, someone deposited money into it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
anything
it's
back. Like, come on now.
yeah, but it's a lot of money though. What was it?
Oh, yeah.
1.2 million, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just a marketing stunt. That's a big marketing stunt, but I don't. It was sent to the wallet. It wasn't that they
Yeah.
removed it from the wallet.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, if he withdrew it, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That's what
Just to
I said.
recap
Oh, no,
for our
actually,
listeners, let's give the listeners some context. 2 days after Bitcoin's 15th anniversary, an unidentified wallet transferred roughly 27 Bitcoin worth 1.2 million into Satoshi Nakamoto's Genesis wallet. Right. So someone sent 27 Bitcoin to their wallet, to the original wallet.
wait. Where did he send it from?
Bum, bum,
Binance
bum.
Yeah.
or from a different wallet?
On Binance. Yeah. I think that's what I read.
Right.
And yeah, people are like, oh,
It's
Satoshi's back.
Yeah,
Come on
no.
now.
So Satoshi doesn't have $1 million laying in.
I mean, somebody burned 27 Bitcoins that they just did.
Yeah, I
Was
think
it
it,
on purpose or an accident? Well, we shall never know.
it might be like you're saying, it might be some OG whale with 1,000 Bitcoin, and it was Bitcoin's 15th birthday, and he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send 27 of them to, who knows,
Oh,
just
it was his 15th birthday.
2 days
Bitcoin's
after.
15th anniversary."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. It was somebody that apparently just looking for $1.3 million just to get the rumor mill started again with Satoshi. I agree with that.
yeah, and it lines up with this whole ETF rumor stuff. So maybe it was someone trying to pump their own bags in their own creative marketing way, and unfortunately, it
Can you
doesn't seem
imagine
to
how
have
big your bags are if you've got enough? If you got 22 Bitcoin, is that what it is?
27 Bitcoin.
27 Bitcoin, you just throw away.
That's my bag.
Yeah. For the laugh, for the smile. That's in crypto, right? For the meme to go, haha, that was cool.
I
was a
can't wait until I have $1.2 million to make a laugh.
For a good old meme. Uh-oh, is the market bouncing right now? I'm seeing some green right here. I wonder what time frame this is showing from, but kind of jumping forward, keep the ball rolling. Our next story we've got tonight, Centra Tech co-founder gets 8 years for crypto fraud. This co-founder has been sentenced to 8 years for conducting illegal ICO and fleeced investors of $25 million. What this project was concerned of, right? They did the ICO. They raised all this money. They were a Miami-based company. They were offering crypto-based financial products such as a debit card. However, it turned out it was fraudulent. They were not building. They were not constructing. They were not building any sort of project here. And because of that, I guess after all of this has come to fruition, right, the court has ordered the guy to pay $20,000 as a fine and forfeit $1 million that they have in custody. And they're
Hold on, Zach. You said he defrauded people for $25 million, and he got a $20,000 fine.
Yeah, isn't that pretty wild? That's pretty wild.
Oh,
and what's funny too is because right here he gave back 36 million, so that means he probably bought Bitcoin or something, or it was ICO was maybe an Ethereum since it was.
He was just doing an IOU, paying him back later.
Yeah, he should have gave all the 25. He should have gave him 10%. You're right. Everyone made 10%, and then they take the. Yeah. But but right here it just mentions, right, it was this gentleman and partners, this guy, and one of the partners, right, his punishment was 1 year and 1 day in prison, And he also had to return $347,000 and a Rolex watch he purchased from the scam. So yeah, that goes back to, if you guys recall, the ICO mania, where people could, right, we could make a PDF file right now and say we're going to make a debit card in the Bitcoin bank future and blah blah blah, and release a token real quick. And it goes back to those, simpler times where, right, if you had a good story and you had a good team and you're a Miami based crypto fund, blah blah blah.
So
And
you're
it's sad
around
to say, because these gentlemen could have just easily did something so simple, right? But
Mhm.
unfortunately, that was a scam, and now they're going to jail and paying a $20,000 fine.
Zach, were you here for that ICO thing?
Yes, I didn't really get involved in too many things. When I really think back, really just DeFi summer, which was a little bit later, but I held Ethereum while this stuff was going on, but I really didn't get involved. I do recall it a little bit, but not really many ETH. I don't recall at the top of my head. I got to go back and look, but I don't recall really giving up my bag of ETH to these type of guys.
Yeah, I have a spreadsheet on one of it's on my. I was in like 25. I said,
You were in 25 different ones.
yeah.
Oh wow, that's
DeFi
wild.
summer. Apparently, I completely slept through, but the ICO craze, I was like 25. I had, I think.
Did you
3
make
or
out on
4.
those?
I think in the end, yes, I was up, but I only had like 3 that really popped off. The big one that I remember was Aave. Whatever it was before it was Aave.
It was the Lind token, LEND. I remember
Lind.
that Lind.
So I had bought a shit ton of Lind, but then I sold it before it became Aave and lost
So
that conversion. Yeah.
Chris, you and I, we both have XRP.
Mhm.
I didn't get that Flare token airdrop. Did you?
Yes. It's part of,
You did?
part of my it's part of my Celsius holding. I had my
See, I never got it.
when the Flare screenshot took place, my XRP was on Celsius. So in my Celsius claim it lists Flare. Or whatever, and Songbird as well. I got some Songbird from that.
I have to go look. Maybe it's a hidden token on one of my wallets, but I didn't get any. But what is the Flare token? I've seen that. I mean,
I have no idea. I just knew it was.
Is it worth buying?
Probably.
It's in the top 200. I think it's like 106.
Nice. Hopefully, it adds to my Celsius claim.
Oh, XRP,
You know
XRP army, rise up.
Zach, have you heard of the Flare token?
I've heard of it, but I haven't. I've heard of Flare, Songbird. I've heard of XRP, but I haven't really dug too deep into it.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was, but I didn't get it. I know that.
Well,
I was all excited. I had 30,000 XRP tokens and didn't get it. I was like, well, shoot.
Where did you have your XRP before you moved it to VOD?
I had it on. Oh, it was on Exodus, but then I moved it to Exodus from the one wallet that I absolutely hate. What is Atomic? There it is. I hate that wallet. So yeah, it was Atomic and then Exodus, and then from there VOD, and then who knows where it's at now.
Then you should check this wallet because that's where it would have been. That's where the snapshot would have been. So I moved my XRP from Atomic to Celsius, and then from Celsius to VOD.
I'll check. I'll check. I think it was on Exodus. Yeah. Actually,
continuing with this whole Bitcoin ETF
Squirrel
news fest. Right here, BlackRock announced the fees are much cheaper than they predicted. And just to jump through this real quick, right? BlackRock, they're going to be offering their ETF at 20 basis points at 0.2% fee for the first year, or $5 billion invested. So I'm assuming that means once they have $5 billion worth of product sold, that they're going to change their rate, I guess, their fee rate. And Kathy Wood's ARK Invest, they're doing 0, so no fees for the first 12 months or first $1 billion invested. Just to jump through, like I said, real quick, just, these are all just each individual's offering and what they're going to charge for it. But Bitwise is doing. What was that?
We don't like charges.
Yeah, these are all just a little.
Did you say fees?
Fees? Yeah. Boo! That's good. That's good.
I guess your soundboard came in.
It did.
That's pretty good. And but right here, there's also this one little thing I said 0.2, 0.5, all this or whatever. But this Grayscale, which is a crypto, they've been around for a while now. I've always disliked Grayscale. They sell, they have like packaged crypto products. So like you can buy Bitcoin or you can buy Litecoin, but like you're buying, once again, you're buying paper Bitcoin, paper Litecoin, and also their fee and everything was like exorbitant when I researched it a while ago. But right now they're gonna drop it from 2 to 1.5%, but that seems to be the highest amongst them. But so just some fees, what's to be expected from a business model who exists solely on fees. But continuing on, kind of pivoting from the ETF news more into what's happened this past 2023. A lot more countries are, they're creating more guidelines, they're issuing more reports and how they foresee the regulation of the crypto industry coming about. And it's about time, right? Because we just talked about Bitcoin's 15th birthday, and they're just now, starting this ETF, and they're like, hold on, we got to have some rules about this whole thing, right? Well, it's about time. That's government for you, right? Just move at a snail's pace. But right here in this report, they're saying, 80% of surveyed jurisdictions toughen crypto regulations in 2023, right? They're pledging to crack down on the crypto Wild West. Like cowboys, like us three musketeers right here. They're coming for our gains. And like I said, who are these experts, really, man? And crypto is to truly, if crypto is to truly go mainstream, there must be a clear regulatory path, experts say. Who are these experts? I want to get paid to give takes like that. Oh my gosh. But
we're in the wrong business, my man. We're in the wrong business.
That's for sure. And so anyway, they just are FATF. If you haven't watched, shout out to Coin Bureau. I can't wait till Guy covers Elephant Money. I saw a really informative video. Sorry?
You said Guy Fieri?
Guy, what's his last name? I'm not sure his last name. He's Canadian. The guy from Coin Bureau. I'll pull up a picture.
Oh, Guy, that guy, not the food guy.
Yeah, not Flavortown guy. Not
he's Canadian.
No, he's not Canadian.
This gentleman right here. Yeah.
Zach, why are you looking up dudes on your computer?
Name Guy. I'm looking up guys, dude.
Guy's named Guy.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Who would name their child Guy? What is that like a? What's the like? Is there like a?
I think that's a British thing. An English.
Maybe they're hoping for a girl. Is Guy short for anything?
That's what I was asking. Is it short for something? Is Guy short for anything? It's a Germanic name, meaning wood.
But of course.
Okay.
That's hilarious. But he had a great video about the FATF and how they have a lot of say when it comes to regulating things like financial assets and crypto, and how they write all these reports and have influence over regulatory bodies, what actually comes out in the law. But right now it's saying only a quarter of its 39 members were fully compliant with its measures of anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing for virtual assets. So even the people in the organization that are supposedly regulated by them are not compliant. So it's always silly when I see stuff like that. It's very silly. So anyway, and then one more point out in this article, shout out to all of our brothers across the pond in the UK, because I know they've been having a difficult kind of last few months when it comes to finding onboarding solutions. From what I've spoken to a few people, it's getting a little bit more difficult to buy crypto or sell and send it back to your bank. And when you do send it, when you do send it to your bank, they're often like, causing all these problems for you. So it's right here. They just mentioned the UK introduced a fire hose of new laws and are preparing to another comprehensive framework. So UK, it's looking rough. But there's
How do you
Mr.
say that guy's
Bankman
name?
Fried.
Bibu?
What's the question?
Got the guy in the chat. Bibu? Is that how you say it?
Bebo? Yeah, so I
Bebo?
would say Bebo.
Bibo?
When Guy Fieri equals wood fire. That's fun.
That's clever. I like that.
Let's
You
see.
see it, Zach? You're looking at it like
I can't see
on
the
drugs.
chat.
Fool?
When I share my screen, I'm just looking at the news article because if I click back
Oh, you can't
over,
see?
it will do
Okay,
the
okay.
infinity mirror. So I can't see the chat.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then I won't talk to you about it anymore. Sorry.
No worries.
But
But
make a play on our Guy equals wood.
It was pretty
Well,
funny.
welcome, welcome.
Mr. Bebo in the chat. Shout out Mr. Bebo, it sounds like. But this is also a very important topic that we talk about nonstop, which is security.
Let's do it. Security. Oh, yes.
Security. This is an interesting report. Let me go back to the front. It's page 27. But this is a report kind of detailing. Yeah, you don't read crypto reports in your free time and find out interesting little takes of what's happening.
I got 9 to 5. I can't be doing all that.
Yeah, Zach, we still have a 9 to 5. We're not reading crypto reports yet.
You're not reading blockchain security and anti-money laundering reports. What?
I copy and paste and put it into Chat GPT and say, "Give me a summary." That's what I do.
Next year we'll be joining you.
Good. I would tell you what Chat GPT would say. It would say tons of money got robbed from the crypto market this year. That's what it would tell you. That's what this report's basically covering, right? Over 100 million stolen from this wallet, over 120 million on that wallet, on this exchange. And in this report, though, I just wanted to highlight, let me go back to page 27, right, about phishing websites. This is something I've had clients experience, and it just breaks my heart when they message me. They're like, "Hey man, where's my crypto, blah blah blah. I went to elephant.money and I don't know where my elephant tokens went." I'm like, "What? Where'd you even find that website?" And no, it's called phishing anyway. So right here, just is dealing, and I want to, like I said, highlight this to everyone watching, right? You got to be smart because there's malicious individuals out there who are out there to send you links. They want you to click that link and they want to take all your money. So really understand that's a real threat every day. I'm still vulnerable to it. Everyone is. You have to understand it's a daily measure you need to keep at the front of your mind is to go to bookmark your crypto website so you're not Googling websites. If you are, quote unquote, being a degen and you're trying out new projects and new things like that, then have a spare wallet where there's no chance of you losing funds. But in this report, it's talking about phishing websites disguised as transfer addresses. So this is very interesting. I had not come across this particular methodology, right? This type of scam often occurs in chat applications like Telegram, beginning with OTC transactions, right? What happens typically is, right, the scammer asks the victim, "Hey, send me 10 cents or send me $1 because the contract got upgraded," or some BS reason. And what they do is, right, they'll send you a wallet address .in or some, it looks like a regular wallet address, but you can somehow attach a website to the end of a wallet address. See, this was new to me. So although it appears to be a Tron transaction with a 0x prefix, blah, 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 it's a website ending in a .in, not a blockchain address. So when searching a wallet browser, right, what basically happens, to sum it up, by you sending this transaction, you have now been compromised. So, like I said, Telegram is a hotbed. If you have not gone ahead and done so, change your privacy and security settings right now. Change it where it's all limited, right? No one can, make everything like cannot contact me. Nobody, as much as possible. because you do not want someone that says, "Hey, hey, this is Satoshi Nakamoto. I'm gonna give you a free Bitcoin if you send me $1." Right? I don't know why people fall for that crap, but it happens every day. So, and that's the thing too. You might be talking to a North Korean hacker. Okay, the Lazarus are impersonating people on Telegram, which is crazy to think. But I just wanted to highlight this. Just be smart. There are no airdrops. There are airdrops. Those are real. Once again, that's if you're not careful and you're out there airdrop hunting, you're gonna blow yourself up by getting involved with something, right? Just I like elephant.money. I like staying there, building my positions there. I also have other crypto as well, but just know that the risk you face when you're experimenting, just understand that. Any thoughts you guys want to share? Sorry, that's my little rant, but it just drives it home because I can't tell you. I've joined a Zoom call with a girl crying, and she's like, "I don't know where this is at, that is at," and I'm like looking at the blockchain. I'm like, "What happened?" This it's devastating when these people lose 12 grand, 30 grand because they don't know what the hell they're doing and they're clicking buttons. Sorry, but that's why I'm passionate about it.
Yeah. Well, the Telegram deal, that's a little scary too, because I keep getting text messages from Telegram saying, "Hey, if you're trying to access a different device, go ahead and click this link." And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I get a message on Telegram from Telegram saying the same thing, just ignore it if it's not me. I'm like, what? Who is trying to, get on my Telegram or get onto my phone or what? I don't know. It's kind of scary, but
Seeing as you're a
I'm
public
tempted to.
figure now, AG, and you believe your phone is more secure than a computer, you gotta
Yeah,
watch yourself.
I might move everything over something
Yeah.
else. I don't know. I
It's
think maybe next week we can talk about hard wallets or something.
Yeah,
Cold
the big
wallet.
thing is the big thing, like Zach was saying, is make sure you have a burner wallet. Anything that you have all of your funds in, you really should have one account that's offline, whether it's under behind a hardware wallet or just on a PC where it's not online. And I didn't know that. I really feel like I've gotten lucky over. I started in 2018, and I had one wallet. I had one wallet literally until we started this podcast. And then I really started taking stuff seriously whenever talking with Zach and Patrick from Cryptozoa. I it's I feel lucky. I really do. I who knows how many, especially all those ICOs. Like I said, 25 ICOs, one wallet. I use one wallet every time. And think the big users. My main wallet never got compromised. So
Yeah. Count our blessings. I'm very lucky as well to be, I haven't had any sort of that happen to myself. So count myself very lucky, and take our wisdom and, take that, right? I've heard this, old saying, something, there's two ways to learn something. You can learn it yourself or learn from someone else. So just learn from us. Don't learn it from your own mistakes. Okay. Learn from other people's mistakes.
I think that adage too. If it seems too good to be true, it really is. Like, we're talking about millions of dollars. No one's giving you $100,000. No one's giving you free stuff. Now there are airdrops from actual companies if you're products and things like that. Those you have to research. And don't click links. If anybody beats, they're probably a scammer. I would say 99%, right? And that's just do your before you click anything, do your research.
So I've been seeing a lot of scammers on YouTube. I don't know if you see the commercials that come on before certain videos and stuff, and I always see the same one, and it's some like lip syncing. It doesn't even match up. Like, it's totally bad. About Solana. Oh, I'm the CEO of Solana. We're, as a gift, we're going to do a drawing. Scan the QR code, but it's totally like he's not even saying that, and they're trying to sync the words to his lips, and it's
You,
horrible. But people will fall for it.
I've heard the theory, like you're saying, why do they not even make it? Like their lips aren't synced. Like, why does it even look so crappy? Because they say if you're like they literally want it to be so dumb that if you do it, like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like it would attract that type of person who actually would pull the trigger. If it looks, like you said, it's like, why don't you try to make it a little bit better of a scam, right? But there's some psychology that scammers have figured out. If it looks so dumb and so bad that somehow is more attractive. I don't, like I said, I don't know because that doesn't work on me, but I've heard that same thing. Like they'll send emails with misspellings and like terrible, and then like they'll have the link. And it's like, why wouldn't they not try to like format a nice email if they're, so it's some weird psychology. The stupider and dumber it looks, that makes people click on it or look at it or scan the QR code. I don't know really.
Weird. Have you seen that commercial?
Not that particular one, but I get the exact same thing you're mentioning. I get Michael Saylor is giving away free Bitcoin. Elon Musk is giving away free Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Even my buddy who he doesn't watch the show, but so I can make fun of him. But my buddy Cole, he sent me on Twitter the other day. He's like, "No way, dude! Is this for real?" It was I'm Brad Garlinghouse. The XRP case has been decided.
I saw that one too.
I'm Brad Garlinghouse. Yeah, I saw that one.
You saw that one,
Yeah,
so everyone saw that one, right? It's so funny, and he's like, "I'm getting we won the case. We're now going to give away $1 million of XRP, whatever." But like, it like we're talking about, I don't know what Twitter's moderation policy or YouTube, but I mean, is it that easy to pay to run a scam to millions of viewers who have been Googling crypto and stuff, and they're in their
their advertisement? I don't think.
Yeah. So, same thing that we're talking about with fishing, because I know that AG and I are part of the Celsius thing. Literally every 2 or 3 days, I get an email that says, "Don't forget to send your money from Celsius," and it has my name. We have a mutual friend that had his Bitcoin and Ethereum on Celsius as well. So I try to keep him up to date. He sent me a long formative letter that had his whole entire name on it. Right, so it looked completely legit, and I'm like, scam, dude. Like I said, anything that takes you to a site is a scam. Like that,
Yeah, that's a great point, right? You have to be so careful with emails, especially you'll get an email from MetaMask saying, "Hey, you got to download the newest MetaMask thing." And once again, they will never email you. The only legitimate email will be if you have a centralized exchange account. Like if you have KYC, if you have given your social security number or whatever the equivalent is in your home country, if you have given that to a company and you have a legitimate relationship with them, then yes, you may receive some emails from them, but you will never receive emails from elephant.money or from whatever from Bitcoin. I'm the Bitcoin CEO sending you an email. Like, so you can delete. That's another huge thing I always preach as well to everyone I work with is anytime they demand by October 18th, you must click this link. By January 1st, or your account will be closed without dismissal or whatever, right? So anytime there is a demand with a date expiration, it is not legitimate. Even if I'm just saying, if you don't pay your taxes on time, they don't send you an email and say, right? There's never like a deadline time where you have to do something before they blow you up or something. So just know they put that there to, once again, incite action and to push people. Oh, I got to click this button. I got to do this thing. Always check who it's sent from and just delete it. Like crypto is self-custody. It's on you. Well, it's a solo sport. It's an adventure type of thing. There's no one.
Not even through crypto. I get shit from PayPal all the time. Oh, your PayPal account has been compromised. Click here to reset your password.
Yeah.
Amazon. Your Amazon package isn't going to be delivered because
Amazon's a big one.
So this goes beyond crypto, guys. The main tactics that we're talking about for crypto, they work in World War II. So tell from Amazon saying your Amazon package is incoming, go onto Amazon and check. Don't click the link through the email. Just delete and go to Amazon. Or PayPal. If you think something's wrong in PayPal, delete the email. Go to PayPal, right? Because if there is a problem, it's going to be on your PayPal account. It's going to be on your Amazon account. You know?
Exactly. 100%. That's exactly the best advice. Exactly. Email's almost turning into like my mailbox outside. And you open your mailbox these days? Do you ever have mail? I only have bills, junk, people asking me where's my money that I owe them, and I just that's all that's there. I have nothing good. I just throw it all. No, I'm just kidding. But right, it's always like, just Burger King ads or or literal junk. Like, hey, I want to buy your house. Like, I don't even have a house. But
I
so
get those text messages all the time.
yeah.
Hey, Betty, do you want to sell your house? I'm like, come on now.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, even emails becoming like that, where it's just all spam. I was like, I don't even want to check my email. I don't even check my. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, where are we at now?
Jumping forward, I'm going to move on to the meme story.
Meme.
If I could. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7 story.
Number 7, meme. Okay.
So I thought this was worthy of note. Binance Labs invest. Wait, why aren't they investing? Hey, come over here. Look, I got a yellow suit on. Come over here, Binance. They're investing in Meme, the native token of Meme Land from the creators of 9gag. You guys ever been on that website before? 9gag?
No, never heard of it.
It's more popular, I think, probably my age demographic. I recall when I was in high school, so
Like last year.
9 years ago. It's a meme website. It's so immature. It's just like a silly, meme sharing website. And I was surprised to see that they're still around kicking, but right here, apparently they're doing really well. They have over 200 million users worldwide.
Oh my God.
And what they're doing now, right? They're just a meme website. They're now going to launch their own token and their own kind of, not metaverse, but I guess you would call it their social-fi and creator economies. And they're calling it Meme Land. So this is a company, a Web2 company, a company that's already established their users and their utility. They're a meme. I'm not sure what they do nowadays, but they have all this attention, all these creators already creating memes and such. So it looks like they're going to now pivot that into this Web3 world with their own token, and it looks like Binance Labs is interested in them. So I don't know much other than this, but I just thought it was a note.
How do we get Elephant to get on something's Binance Labs radar?
Yeah, right.
How do we get Elephant to just be more mainstream, like these stupid meme tokens that are popping up everywhere that get 100,000 wallets?
It's a great billion-dollar question, AG. Billion-dollar question. If you solve that, you'll be a rich man.
In my opinion, somebody in Binance has to know who Elephant is, right? I mean, we're the number 2 or 3 holder of Rat BNB on.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, it can't be that hard.
Like, I mean, they have a gag order. Somebody, like, they have to know that Elephant exists. I mean, it just can't possibly be.
BT, are you in the chat?
Not control per se, but we.
And see, this is I thought was of note interesting too, because right, Binance Labs, they're partnering with this with Meme Land and Meme 9gag, and they have 200 million users. So right, they want to find a community that already has active users, already has a fan base, a creator economy, etc. So it's like you're talking about, we hit all those metrics. We have active community. We have, we're talking about on chain, probably, you can look at like other dApps on the Binance Smart Chain. So I'm sure we rank relatively high on that. So I agree with all you're saying. It just goes back to, we got to put it in the right eyeballs, got to have the right meeting with the right person. But
like the BT, if you're in the chat, man, chime in here. Do you know anyone from Binance? Have you had conversations with Binance? That's what I want to know.
Do we need to go, like, the 3 of us into Meme Land and start a group for Elephant or something? I mean, is that something? Is that an avenue that we could start I don't know, looking into? I mean, I didn't even know that this thing existed until you brought this up. So I mean, that's something that we just are. I mean, even if we just go and do R2R there, right?
Sorry, was that last part? I didn't catch that last part.
I said even if the 3 of us just go as R2R, rag Land and start, putting all of these cool ass little, messages on there.
Yeah.
Little shorts. Try to get people to come over.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
mean, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Anything that Binance is actively pursuing, yeah, I think we should show up and wave our flag and show them what we got going on.
Hey, Finance Lab, two out of the three of us use SafePal. Just saying, you can throw
Yeah.
us a sponsor. Throw us a sponsorship. It's okay.
Cool. That's all I got to that. So yeah, we'll definitely keep up, and we're gonna look into you, Binance Labs. We're coming for you. Elephant Money is the bee's knees. It's bigger than meme coin and meme land. We got real utility. We don't just got memes. We got dreams coming true over here. So you gotta check what's going on over here.
I don't know. Right now, it's like nightmares. We gotta get that price pumping.
It's like living nightmares. Yeah. Moving forward, I thought this was funny. I wanted to throw dirt on Surtech. It's funny to kick someone who kicked you, kick them when they're down. But Surtech, if you don't know who they are, they're a very well-known company in the crypto space, and they are an auditor company. They audit smart contracts, and they help developers and other people who are building smart contracts. They help them find vulnerabilities, help they grade kind of the code and tell what they like and dislike. It's kind of like having a third party person review your work and give it a stamp of approval if they see fit. And they have a great reputation because they were helping a lot of projects, really, building a name for themselves. But then it kind of took a turn for when these same projects that got the stamp of approval, got the big green check mark. This code looks great. These look great, right? When these same ones started to get hacked or started to get exploited. And unfortunately, I believe, you guys can quote me if I'm wrong, I believe Elephant Money had a Surtech audit prior to the the first exploit. And it's unfortunate, right? When you pay a lot of money and you have supposed experts review your code, and unfortunately they miss things that hackers or malicious people are able to find. For today's story, what happened was a media impersonator, which you're gonna die laughing when you see this. A media impersonator penetrates Surtech's ex's account with well-worn phishing scam. Oh my gosh, this just goes back to show, like, these guys are supposedly the arbiters of crypto coding knowledge, and then they fall for the dumbest thing you can imagine. So we'll get there. So right here, so it says, the blockchain security outfit confirmed its X account was compromised. Okay, good. They figured it out was compromised. We quickly detected the breach. I would hope they would, right? An unknown player pretended to be a media member to trick a Surtech employee. So, right, they didn't have to use some, abstract, esoteric hacking code base to break into the blockchain. No, they used the old school social engineering method, which is alive and well today. What happened was, right, we'll get there in a second, but there's, they said, oh, unfortunately we were compromised, but we quickly fixed it. We found out it was due to a phishing attack on our employee. This is fun. I thought this was gold too, right? This little not a stamp of approval, right? They're like, they're making fun of them because that's what they do. They give stamps of approval. They're like, it's not a stamp of approval, right? Right here, they're trying to say just because we give you guys a stamp of approval, it doesn't mean that it's 100% safe. And right, this happened to even Merlin, another protocol that lost 1.8 million. We always encourage users to read and understand audit reports before getting involved with a project. So they just say hey, read our report and still make your decision. Even if we give it a 95%, this is perfect or great. But this is the meat of the story. Fake media. The fake media representative tweeted through Surtech's account that Uniswap. Okay, so that's what when they stole the X account, they sent a fake tweet. They said Uniswap is compromised. Click this link to revoke your Uniswap approvals.
Oh no!
And right, that was fake, right? So they sent out another.
They got a lot of people responding to that.
Yeah. So you responding to Surtech's bogus tweet that they were saying revoke.cash. They were telling you to go to a fake revoke.cash that ended up would drain your wallet. So
God,
so
that sucks.
yeah, they're saying Uniswap has not been compromised. Everybody, sorry for that fake tweet. But look how the hacker got in. Look how what they did. Are you guys familiar with the crypto project Miladies, the NFT collection? It's
Miladies?
pretty
No,
cringe, weird. I don't really know too much about it. Do you guys have you heard of it, Miladies?
no. It sounds
It
like a nerd.
yeah, I think it's a
Hey
super
there,
nerd
miladies.
weirdo fest. Yeah, they look like these. So if you see these kind of avatars going around, just like people use their Bored Ape Yacht Club ones,
Mhm.
you'll see these a lot on crypto Twitter and such. But this is a milady. But anyway, check out how they got this guy. Hi, my name is Ryan. I am coming from Decrypt as an author. Right, I'm sure all of us in this chat have gotten some bull crap like this when they're like, we are interested in writing an article for your project, and we are reaching out for permission and possibly more information. Right, the most generic, like, hey, we're gonna write a story about you.
Mhm.
One of
Yeah.
their
That's the
employees was
story.
like, hey, just saw this message. For sure, please help us write a story about us, right? And then that went from there. So the guy literally DM'd him on Discord
Yeah.
and was able to social
You
engineer
think
him
that guy
to,
got fired?
I hope. I hope. If this
Listen,
guy's working at a security firm and a person with a milady avatar is tricking you to click a link. Look right here. Oh my gosh. We typically accept forms through our Discord server.
Oh,
And
jeez.
yeah, and you guys, links, don't click them. Links are the devil.
don't
I tell.
click link.
Yeah.
Don't click link.
I respect the gentleman, right? Then I made the mistake. So he's owning up to his mistakes. There's a lot to that because that's, I think, out of style. So I respect that. And but goodness gracious, he goes into details about it. But just the long story short is don't click links. Keep your, bookmark the site you use. Keep your eyes open. And that's what happens. So when the victim clicks on a malicious link or downloads a contaminated file, the scammer can gain access to the device, leading to data theft, ransomware attacks, or unauthorized access. So it's unfortunate, but Certec, come on, guys. Who are you guys hiring these days? You can't audit damn code. You click random links. Who are they hiring at this company? Oh,
Right? Come on now. I literally have to go through that anti-phishing crap with my company once a month, probably.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's huge. I know. I can see it. I think it's it's a huge problem. Kind of moving on with the same idea of these hacks and stuff like that, right? In a year in review of 2023, they found roughly $1.7 billion were stolen in the crypto space.
Oh my gosh.
Just to go through these
lot.
quickly, right? This is just a few of them too. As we know, this is not all the protocols. These are just some of the biggest ones.
Is elephant on that list?
No, it doesn't even make the list.
Mm.
These are all not six, 9 figures or more, right? Because it's hundreds of millions, 9
Yeah.
million, 9 figures or higher. So this is a network. I never even heard of this. I think I did hear of Mixon actually, but I don't even know much about it. But Mixon lost 200 million. Euler Finance, I heard of that hack. To 197 million. Multi-chain, the bridge hacked. 126 million. Poloniex, that's an exchange.
Yeah.
Right. Another 100 plus million stolen. Atomic Wallet.
Oh, look at that. Atomic
I-
Wallet. They suck.
I heard about that. Do you guys know what happened with that, or are you guys affected by it?
I wasn't affected. I know that it had to do with Cardano too. AG, I think weren't you trying to rub that in my face? I think you're the one that actually told me that they got hacked.
Yeah, I did tell you about why they got hacked, but I don't remember it because I don't care about them anymore. Do not use Atomic Wallet. They suck.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with Cardano. A lot of Cardano was taken.
Goodness.
Yeah, could have been.
Which is what I use Atomic for. So I think they had a fake update or something, I wasn't affected.
And
How much?
it's always crazy.
Is that a lot of Cardano?
Me? No, I sold it all for XRP and then lost it on bottom.
It's always.
You got some Cardano?
I do not have any Cardano. No.
Yeah, I think the only thing I have left on Atomic is Zilla.
I'm thinking about buying some. you think it's worth buying it right now at 51 cents?
I'd have to go look at the latest, I guess, meta and what the bull case is. Is there any reason it will pump other, outside of just Bitcoin pumping and the general market pumping? Like, is there any, it's already,
I don't know.
that's how my opinion. Don't get me wrong, top 10 coins can still do multiple X's, but like when it comes to risk capital, I feel like if you're a little bit deeper into the space, there's like better risk to reward opportunities.
Like
But
what? What do you got then?
elephant
Dib,
token,
dib,
trunk.
Shib? No.
dib.
Trunk? I got a big bag of trunk. Gotta get a big bag of elephant.
Yeah.
What would you do if you're doing a blue chip?
A blue chip right now, BNB, I think is the what do you call it? The
Underperformer?
underperformer,
100%.
but the what's the word I'm looking for in a second? It'll come to me. The counter trade, not counter trade, but if you're the it escapes me now. But if you want to go against the grain, if you want to be the contrarian, that's the word I was looking for. The contrarian top 10 coin right now is BNB because everyone's, after the news has settled, the dust is all, settling with BNB. It hasn't, had its
I don't think
huge
XRP has run up either.
XRP, I think, has a huge supply, has a lot of other
56 cents, I think.
we
You know
saw
what the problem with XRP is?
What?
The owners of XRP get $1 billion a month.
Not anymore.
Yes, they do. Why don't
Which
they?
one? Brad Garlinghouse?
The company itself, the XRP.
Oh, yeah. They get $1 billion, they sell it.
No, they can sell it.
Yeah.
Do they? I don't know if they do. Maybe.
and I think it's just
just
it's funny in a not if you it's fun, it's not funny, it's actually very serious. But right here, I was talking about, right, North Korea Lazarus Group, they're hacking these billions of dollars to then fund their nuclear missile program. So that's so funny to me, because the irony, like, all these nerds are trading these digital currencies, and then like these hackers come in and go build literal, like, bombs. And specifically, they were responsible for the Axie Infinity hack, which, once again, that was a bunch of nerds playing a little video game, and they stole millions of dollars to go do nefarious things with it. But I think that's just kind of funny, kind of sad, kind of funny. But like I said, just running through this Hecko chain, I don't even know what the heck that is. I'm not sure. This is one though, Curve Finance, right? A project near and dear to DeFi, and one I wholly respect. And this is some, bank tellers mentioned this before, how people gave them crap about the exploit and such. And like, Curve Finance never been hacked before. They've been running for X amount of years, and they have all this liquidity and such. And then boom, right, this past year hit for $62 million of an exploit. And that was from several trading pools as well. So that hurt not only itself as a major protocol, but it hurts DeFi as a whole when we lose liquidity in the space. So, and
Didn't Venus get hacked or something like that too?
I think I heard Venus did as well, but I think it was less than 20 million, right? It didn't even make this this list. This list stops at 40 million for these top 10. I don't know if it's even the top 10. I think these are the top 10 probably. But and then just the last few right here, CoinX 55 million, Kyber Swap, and stake.com. So just know, use risk capital in crypto, because and take your time and such, because it's a wild west out there still. But kind of jumping on, you just mentioned SHIB might be a good buying opportunity right now with the recent dip. Right here, this article here is speaking towards its recent 20% dip that occurred. One of the community managers named Lucy just went ahead and let everyone know, before big news like ETF approval for Bitcoin, the market turns red. Traders try to guess the outcome, causing lots of ups and downs. This is how you gotta. That's how you gotta talk to SHIB holders right there.
Don't be clicking links now. We just talked about it.
Oh, right. I'm gonna take my own advice. Sending me to X. Altcoins get hit hard because they're smaller and riskier. Very true. It's a roller coaster, so be cautious. It's a quick game. I don't know if that's supposed to be game, but it's fun. overall SHIB, I'm not a long-term holder. I miss SHIB. A buddy of mine, shout out to George. George is like, "Hi, what do you think about SHIB?" And I just totally crapped on it. He had a T-shirt, I think, too. I was like, "Where do you get the T-shirt from?" But and this is before it was like, its first giant run up. And sure enough, it pulled a Doge and is now a household meme name. But SHIB itself, I always, this is I'm probably gonna make people mad saying this, but I see certain communities like SHIB, like Doge. Sorry to say this, like the Hex community, they have such a strong user base, a ton, millions of holders and such. But I don't know if it's a lack of tokenomic design or a lack of utility. They have adoption. That's the thing they do got right. It's funny, right? The yin and yang. You got all this adoption and no utility, or you got all this utility and no adoption. There's no project that has that fine middle ground.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with like SHIB and Doge and all those things, did they make so much like so they can grease the palm to get on exchanges like Coin? I mean, because SHIB's on Coinbase, but SHIB's on Binance. I mean, we know that all those guys make money from trading fees, so they want to list the hot coins, but they're still taking money to get listed, right?
So it was a little bit quiet on my side. You said they're still making money.
I said with SHIB, I said they're greasing palms, right, to get listed on all these big exchanges. That's why they're taking off.
Yeah, they're paying to be on there.
Yeah, like they're kind of homegrown in the beginning, but I guess they make enough from their community so they can start greasing palms like that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. Yeah, and if you look to when everyone was making fun of crypto.com when that whole thing was going around with proving proofs of reserves, like when Binance started showing, hey, we actually have crypto, we say we have, we're not FTX. Everyone was making fun of crypto.com because if you saw what they were custodying, like I think it was something like 60% of all the money on crypto.com was in the SHIB token, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it was a huge, like they had, like you're talking about, that SHIB was listed on crypto.com's app. They pay to get there, and people love it for whatever reason. And majority of individuals using that application, they were using it to buy SHIB. And I think, like you're saying, they're homegrown. And once I don't know what it takes. I wish I knew that answer too. That's $1 billion question. What is the gatekeeping requirements or payment or whatever that is required to get on a centralized exchange? Because I would like to know for Trunk, right, and these upcoming kind of things for Elephant Money protocol.
Like SHIB was on Robinhood because one of my friends, I knew
still on there as far as I know.
Yeah, I knew it was time to get out of it when one of my best friends who I've been talking crypto to for years, he's like, "Oh, that's all crap." He's like, "I just watched SHIB." I'm like, really? Out of all the fucking things that I fucking talked to you about, you went with SHIB? Of course.
Yeah, and see, I am that, I'll admit my sins, because that's why I missed stuff like that and such. But that snooty attitude, like I'm just saying, what, they have all this adoption, but literal no utility whatsoever. I heard a counter argument saying majority of people who get into the crypto space do so through meme tokens, right? That's their first hit. That's their first love. That's their first, taste of what this market has to offer. Sure, it may be immature. Sure, it may be for the wrong reasons. However, they act as a catalyst for individuals learning about crypto and adopting it. If it starts with a meme like SHIB, so be it. Okay, I'll throw my towel in. I just don't like it because, like I was saying, like it's such a high risk play, huge volatility, crazy supply caps, crazy, right? The team may have a huge amount and such like that, but it's meme tokens I just can't recommend, or even recommend wasting your time researching. There are profit maxis who like, oh, I'm just it's a losing strategy. I see people who try to jump from meme to meme, and I don't think they're profitable traders. Like I tell you, there are some, I'm sure, but it just seems
I tried it and it's not good.
A million of them.
I mean, maybe it's like the ICO craze back in the day. I was in like 2025 and only a 3 to 5 hit, but the 3 to 5 hit were winners. Like, I forgot what I don't even know what. It's so bad I don't even know which ones it was. But I sold those, and it did cover, the other ones that lost. So You
Uh-huh.
know, maybe it's
And
just, you know, you throw
It's
that
like a
$1,000
gamble.
into SHIB or
Playing
$100 into SHIB.
roulette, basically.
yeah, it's another form of,
Plays a
yeah,
lot.
of gambling. Yeah.
Red 4.
So if you got $1,000 so you're like, hey, I don't want to go to the casino, you know, for this trip, I'll put the 1,000. Hey, go, so be it. Do what you want. But I,
Now, what's going on with Trunk? How come? When are we putting that on an exchange?
I
Who
think
knows?
BT's a one-man army. I like to, I always try to promote. I wish we had more, you know, like you're saying, he's a busy man with trying to tackle one thing at a time. And I'm sure it's coming up. But
We
like you're
had
saying, I
someone who
think
could delegate and say, "Hey,
delegate. That's what I was
you're
looking
in
for.
charge of throwing this on some
Maybe,
exchanges." At least reaching out to them or something.
maybe
Yeah.
when the foundation gets off the ground, we'll have more team.
Well, I mean,
You did say today that he's revoking the keys like really soon.
he did.
Yeah. In one of his voice messages.
Yeah, right before we went live, actually, he put probably 10 minutes before we went live, you know, we are feature complete. That was the last voice message he sent out.
Oh, I
Um,
missed that one.
yeah, so you know, you gotta check it out after this.
Oh, because I was on here 15 minutes before we were supposed to be
Just trying, mother effer.
on.
I do have a family. I had to cook dinner.
That aren't there.
Drive here.
You're home alone. You've already told us.
I'm home alone now. I had to drive to my house, my other house, from my
Well, some
family
of us
house.
only have 2 or 1 house.
Yeah, gosh.
At least
You
you
sell
have a
one of
house.
those.
I sold mine and bought elephant.
That's great.
Some
It's
NFTs. You got some real estate.
Yeah, thank God.
yeah. And overall, but like I said, maybe in my upcoming challenge I'm going to start soon, maybe this is something I'll dig into when there's big dips, like a 20% dip in a day or a week for something like SHIB. Maybe that is a great buying opportunity. You know, I got to do more research. I'm not too sure with its kind of history, but that when there's a huge community, there's huge adoption, like dips, if it's not a dip from the all-time high, right? But those are oftentimes you know, potential buying opportunities for short-term
You know what we should do?
gains.
We should do a new segment each week. We should call it DeFi Springs Inside Guide to the Next Big Thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Something
I don't
like
know,
that.
but like I said, I rather just promote what works. As you know, we you know, we don't jump around to this. We just promote what works, you
True.
know. But
That's true. I do not. I'm in 90% elephant
yeah.
and VOD Celsius.
Oh, and so that was kind of the news with SHIB. And one more point to make out here is, you know, this is I remember talking to this guy. I was thank God I didn't work with him. It was so funny. He's like, I'm a day trader. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, I do crypto and stuff. He's like, why don't you just day trade though? And like, you know, this. I'm like, why don't you just day trade? I'm like, that's really hard to be like a successful day trader. Like, very few people actually make money long term. But anyway, he's like, what? He's like, oh, blah blah blah. And then I remember him sending me. He's like, dude, look at this. Whale just bought SHIB, and he would send me, you know, some because he loves SHIB too, of course, and
Mhm.
day trader, of course, and he would send me stuff like this that I have here on my screen. A fresh wallet. This guy withdrew. Clicking links on X on $5 million. But there are some, right? He would send me like, hey, this whale just bought $2 million of SHIB. Like they must know something. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen, you know, a whale make a $10 million buy of Bitcoin or whatever it may be. And people think that means something just for the market to go down 20%. And that got that whale to be really underwater, down $400,000. And so, or more. So don't get, you know, smart money and big money aren't synonymous always. And there's big money can go to zero just as easily as small money can. So just remember that. Don't follow the blind. Don't appeal to authority. Use your own brain. Do your own research. But
Now,
yeah,
I was just thinking about it. Trunk token, you can't put that on Uniswap because they don't support Binance Smart Chain, correct?
yeah, I'm pretty sure Uniswap does not. Which the reverse is not true. Where PancakeSwap actually you can trade on Ethereum. PancakeSwap does support ETH. So,
Oh, they do.
but yeah, I'm pretty sure Uniswap does not.
Where's he going? Does he know we're in the middle of a show?
Did our man run away? Like I said, I can't see anything other than my screen right here in front
Just
of me.
ran away.
He went to go cook dinner for his kids, like he was for his family.
I don't know if his microphone quit working. I don't know. It's just you and me.
Hey, that's
Oh,
all
yeah.
right. Moving on to the next story, I got Donald Trump may be crypto's unexpected savior. So Donald Trump, this is also just who are writers, man. It's so funny. Maybe I need a part-time gig of being a writer for news stories, right? When you see this stupid headline, Trump is gonna save crypto, right? And you go through the article, it just goes back and forth. This expert says Trump likes crypto. This expert says, "Oh, remember when he said he literally does not like Bitcoin and crypto?" Like right here, we're back out. Right at 2019, formerly called Twitter, a Twitter post, right? Trump had said, "I am not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air." It's like, but since leaving office, he has invested in crypto. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think he had like $2 million in Ethereum on his like tax return or something he was holding.
Yeah. Well, he had some NFTs that were all on the Ethereum network.
Yeah, and that's also right here. And he issued his own collection of non-fungible token NFTs. So they're saying, well, maybe he's turned his opinion on crypto market since he's done those things.
Welcome back.
All right, and I'm a sixer
Where'd you
in.
go?
I had to pee,
You had to
man. I was a sixer in. I texted you in private chat.
You could have said something to us. You
I
just
literally texted you in the private chat.
I was like, Zach, I think he's crapping his pants right now. Kind of waddled off.
I'm a sixer in, dude. I don't think you know how I fucking walked up and down this weekend. It was a lot. I'm old. I'm not 1 year out of high school like that.
That's right. We were just covering right here, Goldwyn, about Trump. He loves crypto, but he also hates it, and maybe he's gonna be a huge supporter. But actually, there's all this evidence that he probably won't do anything. Like these are I could throw this rag in the trash. There's nothing of substance here. They just go back and forth. This guy says, this Republican likes crypto, and this one doesn't. But right here at the very end, right, this is the summary. This is to sum it all up. The president himself is inclined towards aspects of freedom, okay, but an organized finance system. So I think there's an opportunity, but I don't think he has views written in stone on crypto. They're saying nothing. That's the summary of this.
I mean, he was already
article.
in office for 4 years, so
yeah.
Like, crypto was around when he was in office last time, so I mean, his stance isn't going to change in 4 years.
That's saying I agree. And I don't know if you guys seen this guy, gentleman, Tom Emmer, a Republican from Minnesota, because I've seen him a few times on Twitter and stuff to posting pro crypto things. I think he's one of the, I think he's a House member who often, he's a House Majority Whip right there. I should know that. And he's often promoting pro crypto legislation or pro crypto, basically legislation. So that's always good to see when you have a congressperson on either side of the aisle who is pro crypto. So that's a good thing. That we need more lobbyists from Coinbase to go tell them why they need to hurry up and get our situation in the U.S. regulated before China has a bustling, Hong Kong has a bustling crypto market. So that's all that. Just moving on. We'll wrap this up. I got 2 more quick stories. Right now, the block, right, they're citing that in-person businesses are accepting Bitcoin at a higher rate, triple than what they did the previous year. Oh, before I show it, I gotta click back. Did you guys see? Take a guess. How many in-person businesses? I think it's saying the whole world accept in-person Bitcoin payments. So let's say I go to the coffee shop, I want to buy coffee. I'm like, hey, can I use my Bitcoin here? And they're like, yeah, of course. And I can buy a coffee. How many do you think?
Stores?
Not stores, businesses. So if it was Starbucks, that would be one, because there's more than one Starbucks, but one company of Starbucks. So how many businesses themselves?
Worldwide. I want to say
It's
Oh my
okay.
God,
There's no
he's
money.
fucking
There's no
sick.
money on this guess. There's no
16
no
million.
money.
How many?
16 million.
300.
Uh,
Who's
Oh.
closer, Zach? Who's
Gold
closer,
wins.
Zach?
Gold wins closer. The answer
Aw.
is 6,000 is the answer.
Ah, shit. I was gonna go 2,000, but I cut it back.
So that's how much it was. Apparently in 2022 there was 2,200, and now they've witnessed I think 6,000.
Yeah, I'm a
So-
bad guesser.
Hey, Zach, look up Bitcoin Cash. How many businesses use Bitcoin Cash for?
Yeah, how many use what? How many?
I'll bet you right now it's at least 10x for that.
What was the question? How many businesses? What did you say?
Except Bitcoin Cash.
Except Bitcoin Cash.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of
Worldwide.
that? You youngster.
Yeah, I know it's a dead chain. Let me show you this while I go back to that. Right there was
Ooh, tell me
show
that, 'cause I have some. If it,
right here. It's showing 2,352 U.S. businesses accept Bitcoin. But what about Bitcoin Cash merchants? Ooh, around 15,000 businesses worldwide. Oh, it's Bitcoin again. Bitcoin
Oh.
Cash.
Wait, you just said 3,000. How can you do 15,000 on the game?
That was for Bitcoin. This is a
Listen.
20. This is the 2022 number, the 2,300 except Bitcoin. But I'm trying to look for Bitcoin Cash. This is saying 615,000 worldwide. Let's see. Oh, I guess in the US maybe, but no, this sorry to keep jumping around here, but this particular article is speaking towards vendors and they're claiming the majority of them, right, as you would guess, are in like Latin America, Philippines, East Asia. That seems to be where the majority of these businesses
Bitcoin Cash is big in Thailand and things like that.
How much was Bitcoin Cash, you said?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look it up.
I think it was like $230 right now. 231.
Right here, Bitcoin Cash is saying you can find at 3,000 plus companies, shops, stores, merchants. So that's what I'm seeing right here. This particular. I was going to show you, if you guys haven't checked out TX Street, this is a cool way to see the Bitcoin, not the Bitcoin, see the blockchain in action live.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before on YouTube.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, and what's
Yeah, it
cool
looks
here,
like
yeah, it's some of these little South Park characters. What's cool here, you can see the Bitcoin blockchain on the right hand side and Ethereum blockchain on the left hand side. But what you can do is they have a few other blockchains they've put in their system. See if I can zoom in, and they have Bitcoin Cash. It's just funny. Let's see if I can click it. Oh, well, let me zoom in. Let's see. Maybe because I'm streaming, it won't let me. Let's see if I can pull up the Bitcoin Cash one right here. TX City. So tiny. Huh. I was going to show you Bitcoin Cash's blockchain is just full of empty blocks, no transactions in the block
I was
space.
about to say that. I heard Bitcoin Cash was all like fake transactions.
I believe it. I feel like, so check this out. The architecture is funny. Instead of having kind of like the smaller blocks, they have these giant blocks.
Yeah.
But right here, you can see the network activity in comparison of Ethereum on the left here, and this is the Bitcoin Cash network on the right. So it's not non-zero. Maybe these are wash transactions. Let's see if we can pull this up. So this guy sent 1.5 Bitcoin Cash. Where are they? Unfollow.
So what you're saying is, I should get rid of my Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know too much about it. I know, like you're mentioning, that was their whole reason of doing the fork to this new cryptocurrency was to develop a way for merchants and people to actually use, because we know Bitcoin cannot be used for a coffee. It shouldn't be. It's not a wise decision because of the fees, etc. But that was their intention to really.
Yeah,
But as you see,
Bitcoin Cash is actually the original chain. Bitcoin won the miners, so they got to keep their name. But Bitcoin Cash is actually the original blockchain.
Oh, okay. That's
interesting. Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. When they had the hash board, when they split, the miners chose Bitcoin, what's called Bitcoin now. But they had Bitcoin A and B, right? Well, Bitcoin Cash is still the original chain. But
Okay,
because
so it's just
because
like Ethereum Classic is the
yeah,
original.
so because the miners chose Bitcoin, which is called Bitcoin now, whatever they had two test names, right? Once it
Mhm.
actually split and Bitcoin won the miners, they kept the name, and Bitcoin Cash became Bitcoin Cash.
Hmm.
But Bitcoin
Mm.
Cash was the original thing.
Good to learn that history. That's pretty cool. I know that was a whole like split, that schism, like you're mentioning the hash wars with Roger Ver and all that.
Yeah.
The but that just shows you the adoption. That's what's so right. We talk about each one teach one. Why is Ethereum have all this traffic, all these transactions, all these users versus something that's older, but
Hey,
just
but
it
that, I
lacked
didn't
that
mean to,
adoption for long term because something outcompeted it. So
does that
all
graphic
these smart.
have
Go ahead.
Ethereum and like Solana?
Ooh, yeah, does it have Solana?
No,
So,
this it only has a few here. It only shows
okay,
Monero, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum for
nice.
this particular. Monero is funny since if you're familiar, Monero is a privacy chain.
Yeah.
So it's funny. You'll still see these little guys, but see here I can each of these little guys is a transaction on the
Yeah.
blockchain, and so you can I can click it and I can go look at the hash and I can see who's
That's,
sending what, where, and how much.
that's
Uh,
still that's a great graphic, man. Whoever designed that, that's
uh,
awesome.
but if you check over here from Monero, if you click on the I can't remember exactly. It usually will show a bus here. I'm not sure why it's not showing
Yeah.
now.
Oh, I thought they just jumped in the track and disappeared.
Yeah, that would be funny. But anywho, that's a
All right.
little.
My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I just thought
you're good.
I thought it'd be cool if you were on. Was doing great there.
Yeah, it would really be cool. I'm sure there's might be somewhere a place where you can see kind of the
Yeah,
a visual. So yeah, that's kind of just wrapping up the last story. After this, we're seeing more adoption of businesses, so that's great. And yeah, that was the last one actually. This because this is the one we pulled up about the 1.2 million sent to Satoshi's wallet. So that's all for now, folks, from me.
that was good.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, you ready, Goldman? Let's get into
Yeah.
let's see some charts, man.
Now let's take a look at the charts and see how the crypto market is looking this week with Goldwyn. This is Money Lines on the Rugs to Riches show.
Total market. So this is all the cryptos. And as you can see, a couple weeks ago, these are daily candles. So you can see we were just hitting that green line.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see, that's what we talked about, that we wanted to punch through and then we wanted to test support. So as you can see now, the last daily candle, we are significantly higher. So as a whole, crypto is doing really good.
This is the whole market, you
15,
said?
yeah, the whole crypto market. So if you see on the far right, that top number says what, 1.67 trillion.
Yeah,
So that's the whole crypto market except maybe Monero. The 5
it's moving up.
But yeah, so we broke through. We came back and we tested it. It looks like just about every other day we tested that support line. So the ETF, it's either going to do one of two things. It'll either crash through that support line or it's going to come back, test, and bounce off of it. But we're in a sustained uptrend since November. So that's good. The market. Next one should be Bitcoin.
We got some Bitcoin.
So what's cool is that green line was drawn, 3 weeks ago. I didn't draw that green line that you see. So in the last we didn't get handle. So in the last 2 days, you see that we had that big run up, and what did it do? It hit its head against the resistance.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes out a little bit. So every time a candle bounces off that green, think of it as like a cloud, right? And every time it hits it, it makes it a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller and easier to hit through. So we're right there at that 47, I think it's 47,000. And that's what we were talking about last week, right? That we were going to hit that level, and we did in the last 2 days. So we hit it, it got rejected. And that's I think the crazy thing about, like Zac, you're talking about your 10-day trades. You know, it's human nature. Everybody had that. I'm not even a good trader, right? I drew that green line
Yeah.
because the
That goes to your point where, like, especially with these major lines and like major events, or major support or resistance zones, like you're saying, even as someone, I guess you're saying, like, as a just a maybe not even an expert trader, you were able to recognize this beforehand, and so people who were able to, I guess, position themselves accordingly probably made a pretty penny if they shorted at that line, if they foresaw it would not get broken. We didn't break through it, so you take that risk.
I mean, we had our tools to measure. I mean, that might just be, 1 or 2%, 3%, 5% maybe, bouncing off that line. But they had their, like you said, they had their short position right there with, 2 or 3x leverage. They're not going to be no crazy leverage, and then it drops down 3%. They sell at 15% gain on their money.
Yes, yeah.
So I mean, that's that human nature that comes into play, and I would consider myself a complete novice in charting. I mean, I understand resistance, and I understand, and that's what I did. If I could go back and study the chart in the past, that was an established line where there had been some resistance and some support. So I just projected it and pushed it forward, and that was the next logical step. So Bitcoin's good. The ETF's going to do 1 or 2 things in the next couple of days. Or what did you say? Tomorrow at 2:00?
Yeah, I say 3. Tomorrow at 3.
Tomorrow at 3:00. We're either going to push through that green line, or we're going to start going back down to that yellow line. And that was interesting, AJ. What was the price that you said earlier? This would be
Around 40 is what I was guessing.
Okay, so you can see that yellow line. That's the next. That's our current support line or trend line, if you want to call that. So you can just look these are daily candles, right? So if it takes a week or 2 weeks, you can kind of see where it would be on that line. So we could hit 40, just like you were saying. So
yeah, what would you prefer to do? Go back down by Wednesday, or would you like to see the rally keep
I
on
would
going?
like to see it punch through that green line and then come back down and test that green line. Because I'm a firm believer that I want the bull market to start. So if we can punch through that, let's say it goes through that line $1,000 or $2,000, even 50, 50 is another psychological limit because that's that hard number. We could run up, hit 50, and then bounce off 50. And if we bounce off 50, we come back and we test that 47. That's going to be a nice support line, right? Because the resistance support, the big thing is once you break through them, they flip. So right now, 47 is our resistance. That's our ceiling. But once we break through the ceiling, now it's kind of that ground. So I would realistically like to run up about 50,000 and then come back and hold that 47. Because if we hold that 47, that's a really good sign.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if like you're mentioning, if it's a sell the news event, if it just dagger drops down to that yellow line, or maybe the 42,000 or like you said 40,000 range. That's what this chart's showing me, and with the current events coming up, it just looks like, kind of, you see at the start of December, that run up that first happened at the beginning of December. All of that may just be that buy the rumor, influx of capital and people building the chart just to pull the rug out of retail when they're all getting ready to buy, and all this fresh liquidity is showing up, and just the whales are shorting into them and eating their lunch. But
you really kind of think that the yellow line is the current trend, but the long-term trend is that red line. So I mean, if shit does kind of go south, it could go all the way back down to that red line.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, but it could.
I like the yellow line better.
Right?
We like yellow around here.
That's right.
So that's the red line is the major uptrend line, right? So if we hold that, we're still taking the upgrade. That yellow line is the kind of a local uptrend line, but it could come all the way. If it breaks that yellow line, then it would retest that red line. I think the next one's going to be, I didn't do this. So this is a great example of what we're talking about: resistance and support. So you see that red line there? That's the oh man, it's escaping me.
Is that the Fibonacci level or something?
Yes, thank you. That's the fifth level. And so as you can see, we broke through, but we didn't stay there, right? So we broke through, we came down, and then we rallied again. This is BNB again. We rallied, we broke through again, but it didn't hold. So then when it came down the second time, now it has more momentum to the downside. And then we hit that trend line, that white trend line that I have drawn there. That's a trend line that kind of called spider line. So those are from way back in history where it was a trend line that got projected forward. And as you can see, it kind of broke through and then it pushed right back up to it. So realistically, what BNB is probably going to do is hold that white spider line and crab sideways until we test that Fibonacci level again.
And all of us at Elephant Money and everyone in futures knows this all too well. After our migration over to the BNB reserve pool that happened a few weeks ago, it's unfortunate that BNB has taken this breather and coming back down and thus decreasing the value of the BNB reserve. But yeah, you think that white, you said it was a spider line, you think that's going to hold any weight, or do you think we're going to fall to the blue?
I don't think that's. There's no way a spider line's going to hold that much.
Yeah, I mean, the bad part is if it doesn't, then it comes all the way back down to that blue line. That's the new local, and these should be one day. These should be one day candles as well.
Yeah, but it might not go straight down. It could just crab.
It would crab, but it would hit that line somewhere. It would hit that blue line somewhere. So it all that what's going to depend on that is over the next 2 days is what happens with the ETF. Is it a solid rumor? If it is, then BNB is going to fall, just like everything else.
Buy the rumor, see the news.
Or does BNB fall, or not BNB? Does BTC fall, and then that money trickles into ETH and BNB, and that next level? Because we all know how it works, right? BNB runs, money comes out of BNB, and
usually if BNB fall or if Bitcoin falls, the whole market falls, and like a few days later, then the altcoins will run.
Yeah.
Like they get moved into stable coins and wait for all the volatility to flush out. Then they'll put it into alts.
AD, like you were talking earlier, what would you go into? If you do the Fibonacci retracement from all-time high to all-time low through the bear market on the top 10 coins, BNB is the only one that's in this red zone. This red zone is the bottom layer of the Fibonacci. You have other coins like Solana is you have red, and then you go to orange, and then you go green, and then I think it's blue or purple. After that, Solana is already it's bouncing off that green level, so it's a whole level higher than BNB. So what?
Really?
Yeah, and so the same thing. Cardano, like you're talking about, Cardano is still down in this red zone. XRP has broken through, and they're going towards that green zone. So that's when you're talking about those top 10, top 20 coins. Doing a free retracement, you'll see where all of the other ones are already kind of running, where BNB has it. He's still, for the year, BNB's still negative. And it's one of the only top 10 coins that are still negative for the year, where all the other ones have made up that loss.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Why don't you, do you have Algorand on here or no?
I can do it next week if you want.
Okay, next week. I want to see where Algorand lies because I wouldn't mind buying some of that.
Okay, sure.
What is this? Elephant. Oh, it's my favorite one.
Yeah.
It's looking like an elephant. I always see an elephant when I look at the elephant chart. How about you guys?
It's pretty good. Unfortunately, the elephant has his trunk down. We need to raise his trunk up. But
yeah, looks like a downtrend.
Now, 2 weeks ago, right? We were talking. Now, this isn't a daily chart. I think this is a 4-hour chart. I think is what this is.
It's a daily. It says daily.
This is daily. Okay, this is daily as well. Trunk is on a 4-hour. 2 weeks ago, we talked about that green line, right? That was our major trend line that we wanted to break. And so when we put that $1 million in, it created that green candle, right? Yep. So we broke that trend line. Well, since then, what have we done? We come back down, take more sells, and then if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that last 8 trillion sell 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It dropped us all the way down, and we actually pierced that trend line. And unfortunately, we pierced it And now we're banging our head against that, that resistance line again. So what to do is we wanted to break that resistance line. And actually, you see the horizontal lines there. I have green, yellow, and red.
Yeah.
So those were our supports over the last year. Where green was one that we wanted to actually get through, and we wanted to hold that. Well, we broke through that. And then once we got to that yellow line, that's where the seller sold. You see that?
Yeah.
It dropped us all the way through that red line. So that red line was our last true support level. Right? So we either do one of two things. We go into free fall at this point, or we'll crab sideways. We'll clear that green trend line, the down trend line, and we'll start bouncing off that red line. Once we break that red line, then we'll start calling up, and we'll break this yellow line, and we'll create another local trend line going up.
Yeah, this looks, with all that being said, it just looks so juicy to me because, like we're talking about, with after that large sale caused by one seller, all the other whales really, didn't really sell their positions or anything.
Actually, I'm glad to see that when that guy put in that $8 trillion sell, that
$8 trillion sell. Woo!
Well, 8 trillion token sell. I'm surprised I didn't see anyone else panicking and freaking out. It did come Saturday night, so I wonder if that was planned by that guy. To like, I'll do it on Saturday night when no one's really paying attention.
Well, the other thing is now that the top holder owns 0.25%.
Who do you think the top holder is? Do you think it's Money Man?
It's not. He said he's still not the number one.
Well, when did you talk to him last?
I literally talked to him Saturday, 10 minutes before this sell. I'm not even kidding you.
10 minutes after or before?
Before.
Okay, well, he wasn't the number one holder, but now he is.
No, he said he's still not. He said he's one step closer, but he's not the number one yet.
It's weird to me, like back to Money Man talks in the chat and stuff, but the top 50 people, and holders, most of them, are, I guess they're just holders. They're not really active members of the herd. They just kind of buy and check the charts and they like the project or something. But it's always nice to have a friendly whale reassuring everyone like, hey, this is something I've been a part of, and this is something I'm not going anywhere. So that is cool.
Yeah. And the big thing is, this is what I really want to tell all elephant holders, right? If you hold elephant and you believe in the ecosystem, there is no better time than right now, right? Because here's what happens. We have now gone on we've had two parabolic runs, right? We know what's going to happen. All we need to do is get the LPs below 100 trillion. Right? Once the LPs are below 100 trillion, it's exponential growth. So if you hold elephant, if you're going to hold elephant in diamond hand, you should buy elephant because Bertha is buying. Bertha buys every single day, right? We know that. But Bertha can't do it alone, right? So what we need to do is we need to teach everybody that yes, elephant will go up. Yes, elephant can go down. But if we buy and we hold, right? Isn't that what the GameStop people were? Buy and don't sell. Buy and don't sell. It's going to go up. Buy and don't sell. Well, that's what we are. We need to start preaching GameStop people, right? That's what elephant is. If you buy and you do not sell, elephant price will go up.
Yeah.
Well, there is a little bit difference between that. The GameStops, they had a shorts out on it. So if people weren't selling, they had to cover their shorts, which made them forced to buy more stock off the market, whoever was shorting it.
Did you know that they say that you don't own any stocks, that you only have a right to buy, a right to whatever? So the GameStop people knew that there's actually one company. I'll actually pull that article up. It's pretty interesting. We can talk about it next week. There's one company that actually owns all the stocks to all the companies. And people like Robinhood and TD Ameritrade and all those, they only have certificates that are right to buy. That
really?
selling. So everybody's actually just paper trading all of the stocks. But you can write in and request the actual stock. So when you buy it, you say, here's my right to buy. I actually want to own. I want the physical thing. So the GameStop people, what they started doing is they started writing in, and they made it in their Reddit groups. Hey, this is the form you need to fill out, and they started tracking, and they made a game out of it. They're like, get your certificate and send it in so we can know how many it is. Because at some point in time, GameStop was shorted like 4-1 of actual stock. Let's say there was 100 or 1,000 stocks of GameStop, they were shorted 4,000. So all those guys in the Reddit group, they were buying and then writing and filling out this form and actually getting the certificate. So when Robinhood turned it off, they turned it off because more certificates were actually being issued than were actual stock.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that Reddit group was showing that this is just all fake. That the whole system is fake.
Yeah.
And they were getting the legit certificate saying that they owned the stock. And that's
Yeah.
why
That's interesting.
yeah, it was a great article.
Yeah.
But that's what they were doing. They were doing a liquidity speed, right? That was now an LP pool of fake shares and real shares. So the GameStop people were buying real shares and holding them. That's all they did. They were driving that liquidity pool up.
Yeah, one of the funniest stories I ever read about GameStop, a guy was giving his story of how he uses GameStop as a bank. He pre-orders all the video games, so he puts the $60 deposit or whatever down, and then whatever he needs money, he goes and he like cancels it, or I forgot exactly, but he was basically using he had like an account at GameStop where he's using it to put money and take money out and
That's
using
so
them as his bank. I got to pull that up too. Maybe I'll share that as a news article next week.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe it was a 4chan post. Who knows? But it was funny as heck.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So the moral of the elephant story currently is if you believe in elephant, everything happens because of the asset. Elephant token is the asset, and everybody needs to buy and hold. And realize that it can go down. We got it, but it won't go down if you don't sell.
Yeah.
One stat just to bring it back to Elephant and Bertha, I saw today, right? I think Bertha this time last year was at 102 trillion, and right now she's at 198, about to break the 200. So, right, she was able to gain 100 trillion in 1 year at these kind of depressed prices. So, like I was saying before, I really do sincerely, because I intend to hold Elephant for 2, 3, 5 years plus. I really do hope we continue to do this distribution event where we stay at these depressed prices. So Bertha can get it up to 250, 300 trillion, because just like what Golden was saying, it will physically be impossible for there to be more than 100 trillion left in the LP. And the sooner we can, fatten Bertha and, and make that a reality, it'll just make, like I said, the rest of the history of elephant money that much more pretty, and all of this will be behind us. It all goes down to if we can feed Bertha, and she is that, right? We thought this 8 trillion guy was a diamond hander, but no, we know Bertha is she's the queen of the true diamond hands. But
if we zoom in on that chart, that green line is coming down hard.
Yeah.
Downtrend. So what do you think? This is a day chart? You got like 3 days to figure out if we're going to bust through that or not?
Yeah, it's going to be fast, I think. It's going to, right? We pierced through it, then we came up and we hit our head, and then we dropped down a little bit, and then we hit our head and we dropped down a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through that.
Yeah, 2 to 3 days. That's when the ETF, the rumor is Wednesday. I think it's going to be tomorrow, but if it comes out Wednesday, that thing could be busting out with the.
So if it's good news, then BNB runs and it pulls us back through, right? BNB will pull us through that green line, and really what we need to do is we need to get back past that red horizontal, and that's our ground again.
We're gonna switch this podcast to Elephant FUD. Let's just talk about, I don't know, this Bertha lady. She doesn't sound like she's really into this elephant token.
If you want to talk FUD, we'll just pull the Discord group up. Holy shit, the FUD that's in that thing. It's been brutal the last 3 or 4 days.
Oh yeah, what have you been hearing over in the FUD chat?
God. Dude, they're just whining and crying about how futures is now not 0.5%, and it was supposed to only take a black swan event, and here we are a week after it's set. Now we're not 0.5%.
We're not. I thought we were.
Now we're at like 0.43 or something.
Ah,
And they're like, oh, the BNB reserve doesn't fill up anymore, and it's just going to run to zero. And I'm like, dude, it can't run to zero. It's literally back.
Where do these people come from? Like, I don't. It's only when the bad times they're all, or the bad times, when the depressed times, when the whole market is sideways or not doing anything. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to dismiss. I do understand their concerns and their arguments. But if they have to have I think hopefully a bigger picture view of the ecosystem and understand this is a short-term temporary pain, and how, like, it's impossible for it to go to zero. And if anything, this is this is the ability to prevent this project from, like, you're maybe talking to people who used to FUD that, oh, futures liabilities will get out of hand and there's no way that, right, all of those FUD has now been, permanently crushed. So I get it. I definitely feel, but I always say this as well, is I feel when people get, I don't know, people overinvest. I don't know. If you get emotional like that, you probably maybe put too much in too quickly. I've still been DCAing. I've been this thing for 2.5 years. I don't know. That's just my, if anything, I like to, I don't know. But I totally, I get, they have valid concerns and valid arguments. But like I said, I'd hope they would understand the bigger picture.
so Zach, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, you said that you were starting to DCA and heavier into trunk because you thought it was a better opportunity at this point. Well, now that elephant is down at these levels, what do you think's a better play? Trunk, 9 cents, or elephant at 29 cents?
Oh, I'm loving elephant right now. That's, like we talked about previously, that's one of my biggest holdings. So I have no issue getting more, especially being beneath like the red. Correct me, is that the red Fibonacci level? Or is that just a support? That's a support. So being beneath all of this, as we know, the elephant token, we know its behavior, etc. So I don't know. At these prices, I think I haven't made a purchase in about a week or two. I'm definitely looking to probably in my next DCA pick up a little bit of elephant. Trumpet, like you're saying, I still am a huge fan of. I'm excited. I think what will really be the biggest catalyst for Trunk and Trumpet, as we know, is the announcement of a sex listing. So until then, probably elephant is probably the better buy. And when the time comes of more rumors coming about, like, hey, we're about to be on KuCoin, hey, we're about to be on etc., that may be
I'm going to be disappointed if we're on some exchange that's no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the first one, right? The first one or two is going to be super small exchanges nobody's ever heard of. And then if the trading volume is there, then we can use that as statistics. Hey, look, we're trading here. Here's our daily volume. Don't you want these?
It goes back. I wish BT would hire the R2R team to lead the charge on, reaching out to exchanges, creating videos, creating content, whatever it needs to happen to help whatever the process is. Like they mentioned a lot of times how, BT is behind the scenes been in talks with CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. So I would hope that he's already started those talks and behind the scenes of these other places. Because we have numbers, we've got the data to show. So I think it just goes back to if we can pay the fee to join the team, join the club.
I think we're personally, sitting in the FUD channel, it starts like this. I asked a question in PG and I got banned. This is my question, and I'm like, well, that's a stupid question, right? I mean, you just literally said BNB reserve is going to go to zero. Well, that's impossible. It can't go to zero, right? You know that.
Here's a theory for you. What if the number one holder was a secret wallet of BTs, and he sold, and he's going to use that money to pay off CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko to get us listed?
Here's a counter. I think if BT was sitting on $2 million plus, like in that separate wallet. This is why the bigger question is: was Bank Teller the potential number one holder? Was he the 8 trillion who sold? I really don't think so. I think if he had that much liquidity in his own, because we've seen him from his own personal wallet use and spend and not actually right actually have to spend
Yeah,
some
yeah.
elephant.
Everybody has a moon bag that they don't touch, though.
I think, but yeah, potentially. I think if that was the case, I think he potentially would have touched that bag a lot sooner. That's what I was trying to get at. After the exploit, I think he probably would have used the number one holding wallet. If it was himself, he may have used that one opposed to the doxed one. But
Yeah,
that's
I'm pretty
definitely
sure
could
that
be a case, but I just don't think it would make sense at this time. BT knows the chart. He wouldn't want to destroy this, and he wouldn't market dump all these like what ifs, like why would he market sell all of it? Why would he do it right now? Why would he, that's I don't think there's too many opposing arguments as to
you can
why it
also
would
look at
happen.
that chart, AG. You can see that white line that was there.
Mhm.
That was our local trend line, right? And the second that it broke that trend line is when that 8 trillion was sold. So that guy was watching, right? He's been watching these trend lines, right? And as soon as we bounced up, as we started came down, once we broke that trend line, that local trend line, that's that white line that's going left to right in the up motion.
Yeah.
Once we broke that trend line and we hit that yellow line, he dumped or she dumped. It could be a girl, we don't know, and and that's what caused that traumatic sell off. But again, that if that happened either 3 months ago in October, how much worse would it have been, right? Because that's the other thing that is in the FUD terminal. Everybody's like, oh, the number one holder lost, faith in the system, or whatever. And I'm like, dude, if the number one holder would have sold 1 trillion, you would have been saying the same fucking shit, right?
Yeah.
So don't come in here being, oh, whiny, because the number one holder could have sold 1 million, and you would have been like, oh, here it goes. Now they're just going to drain over the next, over the next year. It's going to be a million a day,
Mm-hmm.
So personally, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. It sucks that the fucking price is 30 cents per million, and that dude sold. But for the system and for distribution, it's a great thing.
I think I was reflecting a little bit. I was like, because I get excited. I sincerely, my brain starts firing. Like when I see the chart going down, I get more excited because I know what I have in front of me, kind of thing. Because if you think about after the exploit happened, that's when I started jumping in the pool and everything. Like when we reach max pain, I reach like max excitement because I get like frothy at the mouth. I stay up at night thinking about this because I just maybe I'm deranged and maniac, but I just get excited when I see opportunity, right? So with it, because it always goes back to time horizons and goes back to if there's something better. I promise you guys, the day I find something better in DeFi, I'll be talking about that nonstop. I'm a profit maxi. I'm here to make gains. I hold a lead. I enjoy elephant money and everything, but trust me, when it comes to making gains, that's what I'm about. If we're not talking gains, then we're not talking. Shout out to Crypto Slow when he's going to be on the show. We gotta get Slow on the show. But he actually, everyone sent a prayer to Slow. He just had eye surgery, so we got to make sure his eyesight returns back to perfection. That way, he can continue to have great calls and see in the future. But overall, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just think reflecting, I was like, I get excited honestly because it goes back to the people who make money in crypto think differently than the people who don't make money in crypto. Like, think how many people, I'm just going to be honest, who bought on that run up that we just had, the run up, the previous one. I'm trying to get my arms here. And now they've sold, right? They got taxed 10% on the way in. They didn't really know what they were doing. Their word of mouth. Now it's going, we're doing distribution the last 2-3 months, 60 days, 90 days. And they didn't see what just happened in 30 days when it went up, all that. So anyway, I just get excited because it just means that I have more time and more opportunity to make some gains with quality projects from one of the best in the business. So,
Exactly.
So what is this? We got Trunk?
Yeah, exactly. You said you got excited and you're at max excitement, so I had to change your name there.
Was I get excited if I named a guy? Let's go. I'm Guy.
Guy.
Oh, I've been Guy. I've been Guy this whole time. When did this happen?
Guy equals wood. You said you were at max excitement. I had to change your name there.
Nice. Max. There you go. Max excitement. Good one. Good one. Let's see this.
All right. So what do we got going on here?
Speaking of wood, let's talk about Trunk.
I don't know about Trump, man. It's crazy. I thought we were good. We ran up, we broke all the resistance, and then we just kind of slowly. This is a 4-hour chart, right? Yeah, this is a 4-hour chart. So over the last 4 days, we've just been grinding down. And hopefully, we've kind of hit that new trend line. That white is a test line. So if we can hold that white line and start grinding up, then that'll be the new trend line. So again, same thing. Trump. What are we at? 30,000, 300,000 stats burn.
Yeah, but I think just right around there, 289,000, 290, 300, something like that. Oh.
So I mean, you have something that has 120 million roughly total supply.
We've started the march, the long walk for now. It'll pick up. It'll pick up.
Excuse
What are you laughing at?
me
Where
from
you
laughing. I'm watching the football game going on right now, and they tried to dunk them.
football game?
It's the national championships going on right now.
Football? Like football? Like
Yeah,
soccer?
I've been watching it right now. Michigan just won.
Oh,
Breaking news.
breaking
Michigan
news.
won. What's the score? It's
I don't even know who the hell they were
34 to
playing.
13.
That's what the
Jim
main whale and
Harbaugh.
elephant money. He sold out to put a bet on the game. He hit. He's coming
Hey.
back.
They tried dunking Jim Harbaugh with the Gatorade bath,
Nah,
and he saw it coming and he threw one of his players in front of him.
nah.
I was like, oh, damn.
Didn't know
Sorry
you
about
can be suspended and still win the national championship.
Yeah. Just goes to show you don't need coaching.
Ooh, burn.
Just kidding.
But as for Trump, if you believe in it, we're at 9 cents. You know, it's not going to get much lower. So the lowest it got was 8 cents. So you're not going to be losing much buying here, buying. You know, if you're waiting for it to go lower, it's really not going to get that much lower in the long run. You know, you're definitely at a, maybe DCA if you're looking to get into DCA in the next, month or two. And then if it spikes up, well, then you can always jump in there in your UVDCA game. Trunk's a good buy. Elephant's a better buy.
Elephant's a better buy.
In my very unprofessional opinion. Don't sue me, bro.
This whole thing reminds me of being an early Bitcoin holder where, right, Bitcoin was at $2, ran up to $20 to crash back down to $5, and ran up to $50, crash back down to $12. And like, that's kind of what we're experiencing when we look at the Bitcoin adjusted price where, I think Elephant token ran up to $25. What was the max? $30 a Bitcoin adjusted price, something like that. And now we're back down to 14 or something. And right, all those people who, ran away, they didn't really know what they had in their hands, or they bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin. And then a decade later, who has the conviction to hold like that? Very few people. And people overinvest. They put in money they don't need to be investing with. And so anyway, it's exciting times for me. I kind of see this as like a rebirth of the ecosystem as we lock down and burn the keys and renounce ownership. It's kind of like another rebirth.
When do you think that's going to happen? Do you think it's going to happen before February? Because he originally said he wanted to do it before the end of the year.
Yeah. What other changes has he mentioned that's on the docket that haven't been pushed yet? Do you think of any? Can you think of any ones that besides, we did the futures update to the BNB kind of change now off of BUSD? Are there any other major changes he's looking to do in the next?
Just the UI. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I think he's been working on that too, right?
He should have outsourced that. My personal opinion. What do you think?
I think, yeah. Anything you can. Which part do you think you should outsource? Were you saying which one?
UI. Hire a company to make it look,
Oh yeah. A huge fan of that. Yeah, there. No offense. I've shown the elephant.money website to a few people, and they say, "What the hell is this?" Like they
it looks degen, and you don't want to be that anymore. I think that's the old school way of thinking we should be, and I think we're progressively gotten more out of that stage.
Yeah,
we
and
want to go mainstream. We got to look more mainstream.
exactly, because right now, unless you are crypto savvy or computer savvy, if you're just if you're new to crypto and you saw Elephant through the Rugs to Riches podcast, hey, then you may be a bit overwhelmed or confused. There are pages and to bank teller, a MIT computer scientist is like, oh, this is the most logical format and everything has a place. I can't, it's funny. I do remember when I first came to Elephant Money, you scroll down on the stats page and there's this, and then this, there's all the stats. I mean, to someone with no crypto experience, that's super overwhelming. And I don't see many other projects that are that, in his case, he's trying to be transparent and show the analytics, but it might be off-putting to some people who are like, this is way too much. I don't. Right?
So what would you suggest? Put them in a folder so you could be like a details, and you click that.
I wish Elephant Money looked like Robinhood, right? As simple as possible. Use copy, not copy, beg, borrow, steal, copy, great artist copy, that whole thing. Follow the method that works in terms of UI from other financial applications.
Who did the artwork for the whitelisting, the white papers? I mean,
who did the artwork? Oh, I'm not sure. For that, I know you're talking about generated those images, kind of.
Yeah, the white paper looks nice.
Yes,
that looks user-friendly.
That's exactly what I agree with. Then bank teller might push back and say, well, look at curve financing. That looks crazy. Looks very, strange to most people. But like we're talking about, if adoption is the name of the game, if each one teach one's the name of the game, the less friction there is, the greater adoption will be.
All right, Georgia, what's your question? Thanks for joining the show tonight. Where are you from?
No, yeah. All right, yeah. Question time. Who else got questions in the chat? Let's see them.
What she has.
Do you have a boing sound? Boing.
There we go. We got that. We got. I like that.
That one's broken up on mine.
Applause. And then we got an opener.
That's very cool.
Yeah, they're not coming through.
And I got 3 custom ones.
Yeah, can you put the soundboard through the main audio? Because is it just going through the speaker right now, when you play it?
Yeah, because the sounds aren't really coming through my.
They're not coming through?
That comes through.
He's so mean.
Dang. Oh, dang. You roasted you, my man.
I'm still working on it. I don't know all the features yet. It's my first day using it. But yeah, I don't know. Well, we can add 3 custom ones. So whatever you guys want. Maybe I'll get you to say something. And yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
I gotta think of some catchphrases. What would be a good soundboard by Elephant? I don't know. What do I think?
We need her.
Bye.
No, we need her to say something that chastises you.
Okay, that'll be easy. She'll be excited to do that.
But what's that? What was Kramer's sound? Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Man,
all right, I'll try to get that. Bye. We'll have to look it up, see if I can find it on YouTube and record it.
I've read about, because when Kramer was a trader and had was actually out in the battlefield like we are today, maybe one day we'll have a funny show and AG will do the full circle with his soundboard. But anyway, Kramer loved just throwing keyboards at people, loved smashing them against the wall, going crazy. All of the people who worked for him were scared of him. And now, he's just Bitcoin's looking good. And now, but I gotta bring that energy to crypto. I gotta start throwing some keyboards around, maybe with some gains I buy
some keyboards around. You should go to the Goodwill and find an old school computer.
Yeah,
use that to throw around.
Yeah, when an elephant's pissed, when I'm angry, I'll just have keys flying while we're on the podcast. Take the keyboard, smash it on my head. Yeah, are you serious right now, guys? What did you what have we been talking about? Stick to the plan. Come on, guys.
You see something like this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that
Oh,
would
come on,
be a
Herb.
bummer.
Let's go. We got to get it. We got to get a hold on this. Freaking, this is ridiculous.
Well, it was kind of like what I wanted to circle back to what Debo said.
Debo. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're saying people wanting to be unlocked out of futures so they can buy elephant and NFTs now. I think that was kind of the problem, right? After that first sell-off, I think the focus kind of changed, right? And everybody's like, oh, you should be in if you don't like volatility, be in futures, right? And then I think what led that long elongated sell-off was people that were selling and going to futures, right? And now they're like, well, fuck, now futures isn't what you told me it was. Now I want to be back in elephant. So it's like a full circle, right?
Yeah. And like we talk about, everyone loves buying when it's green. They're like, buy more when it's green, buy more when it's red. They're like, so I'm getting out of here. I'm
so
not gonna be the last
crazy.
guy.
They're
I'll be the
scared of
last
being
guy. Me and Bertha will be hanging
40%.
out in the LP. I'll be like, hey Bertha, what's going on?
Yeah, that's that human nature, right? Like all things beef. What he said, he's like, hey, when we hit that top, he's like, I sold part of my bag because that's just kind of human nature. You get that double top, and all those people that bought on the first run up that were holding this whole time now sold at a break even. That's kind of what I said in Discord. Is like, listen, I got your feeling. The first run up I bought 2 or 3 weeks before the exploit. I said, but I was trying everything I could do before the exploit to get to 10 billion. Like I was selling everything. I was selling all my crypto, to get to that 10 billion mark because reflections at that time were just killing it. Right. And I was like, damn, if I can get to 10 billion, I can that'll give me X amount of money per month in reflections. I can sell yada yada yada. Well, because of the exploit, I was able to 10x that number, right? And that's exactly what I've been trying to tell the people on Discord. It's like, listen, if you bought the top, right? Why do you still have your elephant? If you bought the top of the second wave and you still have your elephant, now is the time that you should be DCA, right?
Yeah.
Because now is whenever you bring that dollar cost average down of your overall buy, right? So you bought 1,000, with more.
You hear that, Georgie?
Say you bought $1
You need
billion.
to buy some more.
Right. If you bought $1 billion at the top, that same money that you spend at the top, let's call it $200. If you spend that $200 now, you're going to have $3 billion. So you're going to triple the amount that you, or double, triple the amount you have for the same dollar value. And that's just
It falls on deaf ears, right? You're casting pearls to swine. You're trying to give them the playbook. Whatever you want to call it, and I don't want to ostracize anybody, but if you get involved with something, understand how it works, understand the behavior of the system, and understand that, I don't know, but like we're saying, that's all. What? It's going down. I'm selling. It's like, what I just said. Anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go drive Uber, buy some more. No worries.
I mean, the big thing is, if you bought at the top and you still have it, that's the people I'm talking to. If you bought the top and you still have it, buy more now because now you can sell halfway up. Right? If your whole intention of when you bought the top and now you're all pissed off, right? And your plan is to sell when you get back to even. If you buy more now, you can then sell halfway up. You don't even have to get all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Right.
Or don't sell at all.
Or don't sell at all. Right. I'm not advocating, but that's
Only double.
If you bought the top and you're still here, right? You're still part of Elephant. There has to be a reason why you're still here. Yeah. Right. You either enjoy the ecosystem, you understand the ecosystem, you realize we've been in 2 parabolic runs, so a third one's going to happen, right?
Yeah. I'm excited because this last run up happened when Bertha was at 160 trillion, 170. Like she was getting back to almost to 2 trillion, 212, where we're still attempting to reach. But it just excites me because we just, like you're saying, this third next leg up. Oh my gosh. If Bertha really can make it where, there's less than 100 trillion left for sale. Now there's less than 90 trillion less for, now there's 85 trillion. And that's the new ceiling of, possibilities. Like, it's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna pull up. We can call it whenever you guys are ready. But I was just gonna look up one more thing, if to see what currently. Do you know how much the is in the LPs right now that we're back at?
I have that number.
I'm pulling
It
it
was
up.
like 125, I think.
Let's see. Bum bum bum. Put up here. How much in the LPEs?
Now, next week,
126. Yep, that's what I see
next
here.
week, Goldwyn, you're going to be at your new location, and you won't be lagging, and your microphone will be working, right?
I think I'm gonna have to get a new microphone. I think my microphone is not working because I
You
had
want
a
a
Zoom call
soundboard?
with
Came
my
with the
work.
microphone.
I
I'll send
had
you
a
the
Zoom
link.
call with work and I had the same problem. They couldn't hear me. So I'm thinking, I don't know why my microphone would all of spontaneously stop working,
Yeah.
But I don't know that I'll be in the new location. It depends on when I can get internet at my house.
I mean, worst case scenario, you just use your 5G hotspot. Your kids are playing Xbox on it, so it's got to be good enough.
I've literally got a message from Verizon that my kids have used their 5G, so they're gonna be so very upset.
That's good. Here, Bibu has a comment here. I tried to explain that if you believe that EM will appreciate, then you have to believe that BNB will too. If both of those are true, then BNB Treasury will certainly be greater than liabilities. There, yep, that's a fair point because you've thought it through, Bibo. Most people have not. They think that they see it going down and think it's going to go down, and they don't see that Bertha has millions of dollars backing it up. They don't understand the mechanisms, etc. So. No, you're right on point with that. So no worries on that side of town.
Yeah. All right,
Hey
guys, it's getting late.
If you haven't, sorry, AJ. Guys, if you haven't, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're almost to 300. We kind of slowed down. We're kind of like Bertha, trying to hit that 200 trillion. We're trying to hit that 300 mark.
Yep, we're going to be having some edits of these conversations too. So look forward to seeing some of the highlights and clips from these shows. We're going to be having more content like that coming out. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it.
Hit the like button if you think Goldwyn should get a new computer and microphone.
Next week,
and a new house.
And a new house. Goldwyn, quit selling your house and just buy a microphone.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Georgia. Next week, you're our special guest.
I tried. She ain't doing it. All right, guys. Well, each one teach one. You guys have a good one. I'm going to bed. Got to go to work tomorrow. Later.
Peace.
9 to 5.
9 to 5.